What's up, Level Uppers? Welcome to the Level Up Show, episode 149. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm one of your co-hosts, Andrew. I make the show Midori, and I'm joined tonight by the classy douchebag Mike McLaughlin.
Hi.
And we have the beast from the East, Dean Marchese.
Buenos noches.
It's a new one. Anybody speak to Greg today?
Yeah, we have Greg.
I spoke to him, but not about whether he was coming to this or not.
I'm sure he'll text us if he's going to be able to join us. He's at work,
Yeah.
I think, right now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't confirm or deny.
So you did a little there. I'm assuming because we're at episode 149.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah, we're almost there. Well, actually, let's see.
I think actually we are through.
December 1st. Yep, December 1st,
Yeah, we're
2014 was when we started.
That was our first official episode.
Yes.
Of the Bogey
Greg
Show.
is in the
Sorry,
chat.
2013. December. Oh, okay.
Hey, buddy.
Greg, what the fuck are you doing?
You're on the wrong
Maybe
side.
maybe Skype isn't working for him?
You're on the wrong side.
But yeah,
of
December
the,
1st, 2013 is when we started. So it's been a little over 3 years. Today is what? Today's the December...
Today's December 4th.
So yeah, so a little over 3 years since we started. We'll be
Fucking
celebrating
nuts,
our
man.
3-year anniversary
That's crazy.
next weekend with
We're
episode
wild out?
150.
We're going wild out Nick Cannon style?
How do you do
we're
that?
Like doing like full
Gotta
dress.
ask
Like,
Nick
are we
Cannon.
doing dress up again? next
Oh,
weekend?
well, we did dress up for episode 100. I feel like 100 episodes is like the dress up.
Okay, I'm
moment.
good with that. I just because I wasn't planning for it.
150 is still a big deal. 50's a big deal, but every 100's a super big deal, in my opinion.
Super.
Super
I'm good with
duper
that.
big deal. And then 500 will be the mega super duper
Yeah.
big deal.
Greg wants
What
to
do we
call
do?
us. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, you
Here he
should.
is. I see him, actually.
You should do that.
And we're waiting.
Yeah, he's just buffering right now.
Yeah.
Greg,
No,
can
it's
you
just-
hear us?
Buff the word.
Buffering.
There he is.
Buffering.
Hey.
Hold on one sec, Greg.
Oh.
Your video hasn't loaded
I
yet.
hear
There
the
it
voice
goes.
of an angel, but I don't
There he
see you.
is.
There he is.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fucking fantastic.
It was a good week.
Oh my god.
I had the best week of my whole life this week.
Fucking Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
fucking all the PSX, even some of the VGA stuff. Heavyweights is on Netflix. This is a fucking week to be reckoned
It's
with.
pretty good.
It is a good
It was
week.
pretty good.
Well, I don't
Jungle
know what
Book
the
is
fuck
on
Heavyweights is, but The Last of Us 2 is a thing, so...
Yeah, we'll be talking about all of the Game Awards and PlayStation Experience stuff towards the end of the show. I would say stick around until at least 11:30. That'll probably be when
Yeah.
we get to topic of the week and go through all of that. If you want to see our reactions, live reactions to all the stuff that happened, Kristen and I have one for Death Stranding, and then Dean and I have like 5 for several big announcements that
I just
happened
want to
during
say
PSX.
real quick, we knocked out of the fucking park yesterday.
Yeah.
You should have
Yeah.
saw us, dude.
I believe it.
was-
You're like,
It was like fine, like orchestra.
did you see the
Like,
chat
we
that I had with
fucking
Dean?
nailed it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm trying to do something. I'm with Danny, and like so I watched the chat, but it was like across the room, and I'm like trying to do stuff with her, and then she would like run outside real quick, and I'm like, all right, I can do stuff. So I'm like trying to run and do like some Twitter things and everything. I was like, I did this. Dean's like, yeah, I already nailed it. You're good. I'm good.
Dude, not
I'll
not
meet it.
even.
We got
And
up
I'm
5
like-
videos in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, like
It's
we
nuts.
had Andrew and I were sitting here and here behind the TV, right next to each other. So Andrew was breaking the videos out and like cleaning them up, editing them, and he was uploading them. And as he was doing that, I was creating the thumbnails and the tags. So the video, as soon as the video would be like uploaded, I was like, boom, tag.
You guys were
thumbnail,
one of the first.
out.
There
Yeah.
were a couple people that somehow did it quicker than you did.
Well, I'm sure some people didn't
Um,
wait until the end of the conference.
Right.
Right, that's true.
Yeah. We waited until the end of the conference.
wanted to see
Although
that
The
shit.
Last of Us was the end of the conference,
Right.
so
But
that
even no, that's why I was
favored
surprised.
us a
Like there were
little
some
bit.
people that their videos were up before yours.
Well,
Like, by
I
a
made the
split
mistake
second.
of doing Uncharted 4 DLC first,
Oh, that
and then
was-
I was like, oh, I probably should have done Last of Us first, but you know,
Switch, right?
He
Yeah.
did it, and he said, he literally said, "Stupid Andrew."
do it, man, damn it. So yeah, they're all
man.
on our YouTube. If you want to check out the live reactions, the Last of Us one is real good. That moment when we look at each other is priceless.
Oh,
Yeah,
you saw
that was
how they
funny.
tweeted.
yeah, when we both do the Firefly
Oh,
symbol,
yeah.
we go.
Not even like that part. It was just like both your faces when you turn back around. That's why I had a screen capture. I
Yeah.
was like, "This is absolute perfection. Like this is what sums up. That's actually the perfect sum up for the entire week."
Jen
Last week was
Jen
just
got an email
craziness.
from the video going live,
Yep.
and she was like, your faces are so funny. Like, did you like pose for that?" I was like, "No." I was like, "That is the faces of genuine shock.
Right.
Like, I had never in a million years thought we were going to see that.
I
yesterday.
had no idea that would be coming.
Let's save that for
Right.
the end of the show, since there was a lot of good stuff at PSX. It wasn't just
pretty
that.
awesome.
But first, let's just tell everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We got 44 people in the room already, which is amazing. We're on every week with gaming talk shows and game streams. So if you like what we're doing here at any point, hit that heart button like Bierce did at twitch.tv/the level up show. We will give you a shout out. You'll get notifications whenever we go live, and you'll also see banners throughout the show for YouTube, where you can see archives of everything we do, as well as exclusive talk shows. Got Patreon if you want to best support the network and donate monthly at patreon.com/the level up network, or you could just tip us right here at the levelupnetwork.com/tip jar. The great thing is that anything worth $5 or more, whether it be tipping, Patreon, subbing, resubbing on Twitch, all of those will get you a spin of what we call the prize wheel. And there's some pretty cool stuff on there, some
Beers,
activities.
came from our PSX commentary we were just talking about. So welcome, Beers.
I was
Thank you
curious
for
to see
joining.
if we got some newbies from that, so it's real cool that we
Welcome.
did. Let's give an example here. Muto Crystallis James has resubscribed for 6 months in a row. Can you believe Muto Crystallis has been around for 6
Right?
months?
Yeah, I remember the one that you were like, oh, we got a couple really new people.
Yeah.
You were playing Final Fantasy demo, weren't you?
Yeah, it might have been that.
I think that was like one of his things.
I know that's how Strife Girl found us, I think. Was it Strife Girl?
No, it was
Who was it?
Kelly?
Kelly Jellyfish.
Kelly Jellyfish, maybe?
Yeah, somebody found us
No, it
through
wasn't
the
Kelly
episode
Jellyfish.
Deuce Guy
I
demo
can't
that I
remember who it
streamed.
was.
One of our regulars.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really glad that I streamed it that one time because I felt like we got a few regulars through that. All right, let's go to the prize wheel. Thank you to James. Thank you so much for your resubscription.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Sorry, Dean, did I cut you off there?
No. You're good.
All right.
Just
My
doing my
words
usual
mean nothing.
rigmarole. You guys seem to... Oh, thank you.
God, this
Beers.
prize
Appreciate
wheel is
that.
so fucking compact now.
We actually don't know
Oh
anything,
God,
Beers.
thank God. I really didn't want to start off with level 4 fucking lightning round.
It's not that bad.
Level 4?
Doesn't bother me.
Really?
Weren't you the one that winced? I mean,
Oh,
you were
somebody
the
didn't
least,
seal
but you
these.
winced pretty fucking hard at 3. I remember that. Like,
I don't
Andrew.
know if
like,
I'd call it a win.
Oh, that's what we have.
It was left open. Okay, so who was it? That was James. Nino
God,
Crystallis.
these are gonna be awful.
Decide who you want to do the Chubby Bunny Challenge, and if you have any suggestion for what should be read or what should be done during, let us know.
Be red. Beers, we actually don't know anything, so if that's why you're here. I'm sorry.
We apologize in advance.
You know what? Since we're at the beginning of the show here, let's do the official non-gaming portion of the show. It's called the Level Up Show Has No Game. 3 non-gaming topics at 2 minutes each.
Oh, wait, Guitar Freak too, by the way. From
Resubscribe?
Thursday. No, from his Thursday.
Resubscribe?
Resub Scrubs.
He's a scrub.
Resub
Resubscribe.
Scrub.
Yeah,
No, it's Chubby
sorry,
Bunny from Thursday. He got the wheel spin with you.
Yeah, so he gets that as well.
Yeah.
All right. What was I just saying? What was I doing?
You were doing Level Up
got
Show
no
Has
game.
No Game. You were going to say, are we ready? And I was going to say, born ready.
There you go. Let's do it. First up,
There we go.
all Netflix subscribers get offline downloading.
Pretty
And
awesome.
it works pretty fucking
Oh,
well.
you tried it out?
Yeah, I did for Danny.
Nice.
Okay.
So she has the long car rides. It works well. It's a little confusing. It's a little more annoying than I thought it would be, because especially for movies.
Aren't all things.
Yeah. So you had to go into the whatever it is, the TV show, and for the TV shows it's really easy because the episodes are listed there, and you just hit the what looks like a download button.
Right, yeah.
But for the movies, it doesn't seem to be one on a tablet. Not the one I saw very visibly.
How much space does it take up?
It depends on the file. I actually didn't look at her. She downloaded 3 episodes, and I was like, well, that should be enough. You know,
Yeah, that's what I'm most curious about. Is like, could I download a full season of a show and have no issues?
I mean, people are saying to do it, but yeah, you gotta remember too how many people have these 128, 256 gig or whatever
Right.
size. That
I have a
iPad's
16
coming out.
gig iPhone.
Right.
So-
Well, I mean,
and
I
that's
have
already filled with photos.
Oh, you have a 16 gig?
I have a 16 gig.
Did they
yeah.
make those?
They did when I got it.
Not for the 7s. They
I was
don't.
gonna say, I was like, I didn't think that. No, I have a 64, and her iPad's 32.
I have a 128. No big deal.
Do you? You're right. So for you, it's not a big deal at all. No big deal. I'm
Greg,
just saying
how about
shit,
you? Does
but-
this excite you at all? The idea of downloading things offline?
Not really, because most of the time when I'm watching stuff, I have Wi-Fi. Like
That's
when I'm at
true.
work, even my job has Wi-Fi. So usually, if I bring my iPad or anything, and I'm going to catch up on an episode, I'm usually connected to Wi-Fi. I never am on the go with my stuff, and if I am on the go, I can't really watch something and drive. at
Right.
the same time.
Yeah, don't watch movies while you drive, Greg.
Yeah, I'm
Apparently
honestly
that's a bad thing.
trying to figure out a situation where I would use this, but I'm not sure.
The only thing I think of is, like I said, I'm going on a trip next month.
Right.
That's
And
cool.
It's nice timing for that while I'll be on the plane, so I can just download a bunch of stuff.
It's the same idea of would you use Spotify, the download feature on Spotify?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
I do all the
all
time.
Dude, you see, I
yeah.
never do. I just stream it
Yeah.
because I have such a
No.
ridiculous high data.
I
thing.
download a lot on Spotify.
See, I
I don't
listen to
have
Spotify while driving.
Well, so do I, but I stream it.
same.
Well, yeah, then you're using your
Use your
data.
data,
Right.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys hear about this story? It's kind of crazy. Amy Schumer is going to be Barbie.
I did not
Yeah,
know
this is terrible. This
Your
sounds
immediate
honestly
reaction
fucking
probably
awful.
is like,
It's bad. Yeah, it's not a good
what?
reaction.
Like,
right? It's bad. It's not.
that's
a
kind of
good-
the point, because you look at Amy Schumer and you're like, that's not Barbie. And
No,
you feel
but-
kind of bad saying that, right? Because it's like,
That that's
expect-
not it. I just don't want this.
Okay, well, let me tell you what this movie's actually
I'm a
about.
big shoe head myself.
Let me tell you what this is actually about.
Girls
'cause
are
then
funny, Dean.
You
Accept
guys
it.
might actually be interested.
Somewhat.
All right.
So Sony is producing this. It's Schumer will play a character who lives in Barbie Land. Among all of the various Barbie characters beloved by doll collectors, there are dolls covering over 180 careers. In a fish-out-of-water story reminiscent of films like Splash and Big, Schumer's Barbie gets kicked out of Barbie Land, basically because she's not perfect enough, is a bit eccentric,
like
and
Lego
doesn't
Movie.
quite fit the mold. She then goes on an adventure in the real world, and by the time she returns to Barbie Land to save it, she has gained the realization that perfection comes on the inside, not on the outside, and that the key to happiness is belief in oneself, free of obligation to adhere to an unattainable standard of perfection. First of all, I love that the entire movie is described in that synopsis. There's like, okay, don't need
Is
to
this
say it
supposed
now.
to be like a children's movie or like a comedy?
See,
or
I feel
what?
like it's going to be like a little bit
That
spoofy.
family. I think it's gonna be like I feel like it's honestly Lego Movie, but with real people.
Greg, you like Amy Schumer, right?
I love her.
What do you think about this?
I'm excited. I'm not like. No, excited's not the word I want to use. You know me, I over-exaggerate all of my emotions. It's like, I'm going to see it, because I see movies every week, so it'll definitely fall on a week where I end up seeing this movie in the theater. But she's hysterical. I love her show, too, on Comedy Central. I find her to be really funny. I'm a big fan of females. don't know
I
if you guys
used to
know this
really
about me.
like her, and then I realized she just does the same stuff over and
Yeah,
over again.
I was gonna say she kind of typecasted herself.
Right.
as,
Right.
Like, just like don't care, and I'm gonna
So-
drink my feelings, and like, that's everything she does.
Right,
now.
right. Or she just
Kinda
talks about vaginas all the time,
Yeah.
because no other woman
And I
talks
do
about vaginas.
think women are
publicly.
funny. Just she's playing.
No,
it out.
there's a whole South Park
I can't
something.
say I like her too much.
Yeah, I
personally.
don't know.
And lastly, we have our
God,
first
this is weird.
look at Alpha 5
It
in
is.
Power Rangers.
Why does he have a beer belly? Is the only thing I want to know.
I think it's because it makes him look like that kind of stereotypical alien, green alien with
Yeah.
the
Like
big
E.T.,
stomach.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But
like,
they're going with an alien look.
You guys
clearly.
liked
Yeah.
it.
I think it's a kind
I think
of a
it's
neat
interesting.
adaptation.
Yeah.
I
I
am.
think it looks cool.
Greg, what was that?
I think it looks cool. I think it fits the
Do
world.
you? I'm still
Yeah.
in that like. I don't want to hate on it, but like, what the fuck?
No, I mean, hate away if you don't like
I don't,
it.
but like, I don't want to because it's not really negative, especially with the direction they're going with it.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. The entire movie is
It's weird.
very alien looking.
Right.
So it fits with the rest of the movie.
There's just something I don't know. There's something like off about it, and I can't put my finger on what it is. I think it might be the fucking giant bug eyes.
It's a
that's
little
sticking out.
jarring. I can here's the thing. I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's kind of cool. And I also agree with Greg that it kind of fits everything else aesthetically with this universe so far.
Right, yeah.
Also, though, I have no quarrels with something being like, nope, this looks fucking weird.
Yeah, I get that too.
You know what I mean? Like, I
but,
totally
like,
get that side.
No,
of
no,
it.
and I get it. There's a lot of hate on it, right away, and I'm still, but like I'm in that camp of like I don't hate it, but it's odd.
I guess my
It's
question to those
off-putting.
people is like, did you want the original design? Because
little
bit.
that would have
But
been a
here's
little not so great either.
No, that's not true because they could do aliens, but do we not ever picture aliens having robotic forms
Right.
around them? They could have still stuck to something more traditional to Alpha, and it would have been okay.
Really?
And this really throws me off to what the fuck, what's his name's gonna look like
Yeah,
a
that was
Zordon.
where I was going. I was going to
Was
say,
it?
really,
What does Zordon look
Alpha
like?
5 is kind of a bitch anyway, so it really
Right.
doesn't matter. The
Rangers!
more concerning thing is because of this design is what his Zordon
Right.
look like.
Is he gonna be blue even?
Yeah, he'll be
I
blue.
think so.
You think so?
Greg,
Maybe
final
blue.
question. Does he say I in the movie?
He has to.
He does have to, I agree.
If
Yeah,
he
I feel like
doesn't,
that's
I'll be very upset.
At least once.
Right.
He needs to say it. Yeah.
If he doesn't, that's a missed opportunity.
I agree. Yeah.
They messed
Fail.
up. They messed up.
Those
if they
big
did
bug
this.
eyes and
Rangers.
Drew Billy are ripe for I.
All right,
man.
let's slow down here. How you guys doing this week?
Great.
I am well. How are you?
Greg, let's start with you, man. Since you are offline or off screen, I should say. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing fantastic. I haven't seen you guys since like Thanksgiving and all that nonsense. So Black Friday I survived in retail. That wasn't exciting for me. Crazy fucking scavengers of the earth showed up, so that was awesome. I finally finished Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's fucking awesome.
You did finish it, like everything? Did you put like 80 hours into it, like you were saying?
Not 100% complete, but I capped it off with 30. No, not 30. 44. I think it was 44 or 45.
You finished the campaign though?
Yeah. Yes, I finished the story mode.
Did you like it more or less than the first Tomb Raider game?
So much better than the first.
Really?
Yeah.
You care about the characters. The villain makes sense. The ending makes sense. The treasure that you're going for makes sense, and they interconnected it to make it a personal stake for Lara this time. It wasn't just like she's killing people for no reason. She's dealing. The whole story deals with her dad and how he committed suicide. So it's fucking awesome. It's like really, really cool. And the treasure that she's going after was the last treasure that her dad tried to hunt for before he killed himself. So she's trying to do it to like avenge her dad. It's really, really cool. I loved it a lot. I was shocked by how much I enjoyed it. Not shocked, but I knew I was waiting for it for a while. I didn't expect it to end as well as it did. And then I'm eagerly anticipating my Last Guardian statue in 2 days.
I saw the unboxing with Shu. Dude, it looks great.
Yeah, it look really cool.
Looks
I
hefty.
can't wait.
The guy unboxing
You have a
it
spot
has
for
a
it?
lot of weight to it. So
See,
it's very
that's my
heavy.
problem, guys. I don't have any more shelves.
That's what I was about to say. Like, where the fuck are you going to put it?
I don't know. I can't take down Joel and Ellie or Delson. I might
Take
move
down that
Batgirl.
Ugly Batgirl
to-
statue.
You could put it somewhere. I mean, like, what about your entertainment center? You have like a coffee table or something. That's a nice coffee table statue.
Put it on your
Yeah,
kitchen table.
It's not so
I was
obnoxious.
thinking
You know what I
about-
mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's like artwork.
Yeah, put it downstairs on your kitchen table. Everybody.
Ian and Jen gave me this
on
fireplace, and it has a shelf area on the top.
yeah,
so I think
that's
I was
right.
going to put them right on top of that.
Nice.
So I
Want
think-
to give a quick shout out to Soothe Michael, another person that found us through
Anybody
PSX
else?
reactions.
Anybody else that's either been
Yeah,
quiet
yeah,
or is coming and we
Michael.
haven't noticed it? Hi.
Also,
He
want to
is-
say that we have
Hi.
an amazing community here, especially in
Yeah,
the
for
chat.
sure.
Do not be afraid to chat. We have such a welcoming
Yeah, I was
chat.
noticing that, especially from last week. Like, there was that guy that said it in your chat, but I even looked at some of the other ones when people were streaming from VGAs and PSX. Some of these people are fucking assholes.
Yep,
Yeah.
we don't have any
ridiculous.
assholes.
I'm
We,
like-
we have the best viewers. It's-
And they had less viewers than
I
we did.
do
I'm
have
like,
an
how the hell are
asshole.
you guys so
We
mean?
got good kids. D Jackson, you kick ass.
So, Greg, I mean, are you moving on to Final Fantasy 15 now, or?
No, I've decided I'm going to play The Last Guardian because I feel like that's going to be a shorter experience.
Yeah, I feel
for
like
me.
that's a good choice.
It's
And
like
then
12 hours, though, I think.
Yeah, it's longer than anybody was expecting. We'll talk about that a little later. We have a story on The Last Guardian
Yeah.
and also some first impressions on The Last Guardian. That's one of our
I think
stories
I
for
might
this
take a
week.
break to knock that out.
I know, I'm tempted to.
Are you like hitting that point where you're just like, I'm okay with what I'm doing and
I'm good if I go further though.
right.
I'm gonna get on the rampage of like
I need
story,
to bang
you know
it
what I
out
mean?
right now because I feel like any moment it's gonna hit that second half where we're just like
So
doing
I'd like to
story
take a
throughout.
breather.
Yeah.
Last Guardian it up.
Since we're making that transition, the only game pretty much all of us has played this week is
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy XV, as Dean would call it.
XV.
Everybody's calling it XV, Andrew. Get on the train.
We have a Let's Play
fucking
going up on Tuesdays, I think, when we're going to put that up. Dean and
yeah.
I both did about a 20-minute Let's
How'd that
Play
go?
talking about it. I thought it went great.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
I
It was
edited
awesome.
it, and it turned out real nice.
Nice.
And I don't want to echo too much of what we said there, just so you guys have something to watch. But Dean, why don't you say a little bit, since you were the guy?
If I may.
Yeah.
XV is the fucking balls, dude. Holy shit. You
Balls
might
like the
think-
good balls,
I
like the ones that we
mentioned
want.
this- Yeah.
Okay.
It's the greatest balls. I mentioned this.
They're great. They're
I
phenomenal.
mentioned this
Tremendous
yesterday
balls.
at some point, either during the stream or on our Let's Play. But if you follow my Twitter feed, you may think I'm being sarcastic because I am very dry. No, I'm being 100% serious. I fucking love Final Fantasy, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Just whoop, right outside of my head, this game. I was like, what is
It
happening?
just hit something that you've been waiting
It got
for.
me good, yeah.
Yeah.
The music, the combat, the story, the world, like, it was the exact right game at the exact right time. And it just fucking nailed it, dude. Like, it was exactly what I wanted.
And
my God, I love it so much.
Beer says the same thing that you're calling. He's never played a Final Fantasy. Neither
Me
have you.
neither. This is my first one, Beers. and I fucking love it, dude.
I'm on the
so good.
opposite end of the spectrum. I'm somebody who's played almost all of the Final Fantasy games, especially the mainline series. And I can say when I first started it, I was concerned because I'm coming from somebody that's so invested in Final Fantasy storylines. And this one, it throws you into this world. Your car breaks down. It's not too much of a spoiler to say. Your car breaks down, and you just spend like the first 3 hours trying to round up the gil to repair your car. And get moving. So there's not really a lot of story in that first, I don't even know, maybe like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And even after that, it's the story comes from the development of the characters.
I love the opening of the game. Is the best.
Well, do you mean like the very, very opening, like before?
The car part.
Okay, I was wondering if you meant the sequence before the car part.
No, the car.
Oh.
I thought the real opening
Which-
was cool.
Oh, let's not get into it.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Spoilerific.
No, the opening where you're pushing the car and Stand By Me comes in.
playing,
I'm like,
that's
perfect,
Yep,
yeah.
this is fucking.
They
awesome.
immediately
I'm
start
so
getting
in.
you invested in the relationships and the
Yeah.
characters and their bonds, and that's the crux of the game. We talk about that in the Let's Play, but the crux at the opening, at least, where we are still, before you get into that real linear story part, is the
Yeah.
characters, the world, all of that building.
Especially
That's
like
great.
the random / organic conversations that happen if you do certain things. Like every character has an organic conversation, but will come up at random points depending on what you do. The only one I know of that you can do, but it's still a random time that you do it, is if you stay at a motel at some point, you and Prompto will have a one-on-one conversation, and it's very moving. It's really nice.
I
You
hear
know,
there's
like
some great moments like that. Yeah.
There's
same
a
thing.
lot of
There's-
stuff in the world. Dude.
Right, there's something more that I don't know even if you've gotten to it yet, because I don't know where you are exactly, but in a certain
I'm only in
city-
chapter 3 still.
It happened in chapter 3, but
I'm
yeah, it's,
19 hours in, and I'm in chapter 3.
I just yeah, that's
fucking crazy.
it's crazy. I just hit 30 hours. I just started chapter 6, and I think I'm level 39.
That's what's crazy is I'm not even that high of a level either. I'm only level 21, although I do have 20,000 XP stacked
the
up right
cap?
now
Do
that
you
I'm
know?
waiting. 99 is usually
99?
the cap. Sometimes 100. It depends on the final.
And if
Fantasy
you have
game.
that much, it's worth staying in that hotel
Yeah.
for the two.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just stacking all this XP right
What
now. And I'm gonna go to
sucks about
Golden
that though is
Quay.
how you have to freaking camp, and what's pissing me off, and that's my one big gripe is that in order to get Gladius's survival thing up, you have
Yeah.
to camp. But when you camp, you sleep, so
Yep,
you lose all
and
that
you lose
XP
that
buff.
XP, yeah.
So right now, Gladius's survival thing is low as shit. I think he's lower than my fishing, and I barely ever fish. So
I think for me it's 2 fishing, 4 survival, 4 cooking, and 5.
Yo, you guys gotta keep
Photography.
up with the XV Master. I'm like fucking up. I'm all over the place, guys. I'm like level 37, chapter 6. I got like 30 hours in. All of my skills are like 7, 8. I'm fucking in there.
Good for you, man.
I'm doing it.
right.
Love it.
Dude, I'm so invested in like the monster hunting is fun.
Oh, it's so much
Gets
fun.
a little difficult because the only thing, and that's the other thing I don't like is you had to go to each individual. I had to remember what areas had monster hunts that are in my level.
Right.
So like I'm like, oh, I think it was here, and then it wasn't there. I'm like, shit. So I had to go to this.
Oh, you
place.
can just go into your quests and choose
Some of
it
the
from there.
creatures-
It tells
Well,
you
no,
the
it
level.
only
I'll tell you
holds
what, dude.
one monster quest at a time.
Yeah.
Right, but you can still see the level of that quest if you just go into your quest.
But what I'm saying is like Lestalem, let's say, has some quests, but they're all like level 48.
Right.
Whereas some other places have quests that
Yeah.
are level 35.
Exactly.
And so I had to remember where they all are. So.
Mick Lovin says, I want to ride my chocobo all day.
Love
Chocobos are amazing in this
Right?
game. I remember you said that you didn't ride too much. I ride my chocobo everywhere.
I wasn't at first.
Dude,
Now,
when I
well,
went
the one
home
chapter you
yesterday,
have to.
I was like all night I was playing and I leveled my Choco up to like level 8. It's faster than the car now.
Yeah.
It's the
I'm
bomb.
like forming a serious bond with my chocobo.
Yeah, Chocobo's the bomb.
I love
Did you
calling
name it?
No, can you?
I did.
You can
Yeah,
rename it,
you
you
can
can
customize
recolor it.
If you got a feather, you can change the feather color.
Yeah.
If you
Man.
get medals, you can put
Don't
medals
even
on
get me
it.
started. See,
Mine's name is Tweety.
this
Buck.
might be my favorite use of chocobos in the entire Final Fantasy series.
I
I
named mine
love it.
Buck
It's so good.
after my old dog Buck. And me and Bucko were riding out, getting in all kinds of mischief.
I feel like it's kind of trite, but I'm going to have to name him Boko.
Yeah.
Boko is like the classic chocobo Final Fantasy name. Boko.
The only thing
do
and
anything
again,
you
the
gotta
only
do.
negative part about it is that you can only rent them for 7 days. So you have to remember like luckily it shows you at the top,
Yeah.
but it's just like, come on, just let me fucking have it. Let me buy it. I'll give you 100,000 gil, whatever you fucking need. Just let me.
Greg, I mean, listening to us talk about XV, does it get you excited at all?
Yeah, I'm fucking stoked. I've been watching I watched somebody stream it the other day, just like they were running around in the field and stuff. My only worry was what you actually brought up at the beginning of the conversation, which was the story. I have yet to watch Kingsglaive, but I got the Steelbook edition, so it came with the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pop that in and watch the anime before I start.
That's
the game.
almost mandatory viewing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I was
they
surprised,
do a
dude.
very quick 30-second overview
Like,
of
you
the entire
really-
movie, and I'm like, this means shit.
You really are kind of fucked if you don't watch Kingslave.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that seems like a real. They should have put that on the box.
And even
Brotherhood,
a
no,
little bit.
Brotherhood I didn't touch, and I'm actually okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Brotherhood. You
should have watched Brotherhood.
You
I know.
You should have watched Brotherhood because you don't know anything about the Bros unless you watch Brotherhood, and
Yeah,
it doesn't
I was
seem like
gonna
the
mention
movie
that
or the
'cause,
game's going to go into that at all.
Evident Hair mentioned something earlier. He's like, this was the closest I would get to anime. Evident Hair, you don't even know what happened in my life. I went on just like 2 nights before Final Fantasy came out. I just flicked a switch in my head and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch all episodes of Brotherhood right now.
I'm going full weeaboo.
And I just fucking did it. I watched them all, and then I was looking into that fucking Spirit Away movie. And
I was gonna say,
watch
I was
this
about to bring
shit
that up. You
now.
added that to the list.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
just
where
getting
the
in there.
fuck did that come
You know,
from?
I
going on
like
with
to
them?
try. I like to get out of my comfort zone, try
Mm-hmm.
different stuff, and that's kind of how I got into Final Fantasy, this one in the first place. So that seemed to pay off pretty well. So why not? I'm just riding the lightning, man.
You guys
Going
bought
for
the
it.
MP3 player, right?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay. Yeah, that's really fun, especially when you're riding chocobos.
Apologies for the camera stuttering today. I realized that
wow.
XSplit update fucking sucks.
Really?
It's
Yeah, I
completely
just
screwing up.
noticed it.
Did you notice that look at our cameras? They're all
Yeah.
They're really squished down.
skewed
It's all
and
squished up.
yep, it's all
Good to know,
squished
'cause
up.
I was about to update mine for Power Up tomorrow, but I did not.
Don't update it.
Smart.
It's not a good update.
Cool. I
It
will
screws
not.
up XSplit. So that's why
Hopefully
our
it'll,
cameras and stuff is. I'm gonna refresh it, see if that helps at all. But
Yeah.
that's why there is some stuttering
Can
today.
you roll back at all? You know?
I might try until they iron out the kinks because something's
Yeah.
wrong.
They'll probably
Iron
come out
out
with
the
a new update.
kinks.
I did buy. Since the last
Robert
I've seen you
Scott.
guys, I don't even know. But I know I told you I was playing Assassin's Creed 2. I platinumed that.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah, because I'm awesome.
That game's been on my list to platinum because that was the closest I ever came to full completion of a game.
Yeah, it's
Ever.
dude, it's super easy.
Before I
That's a
got it
real
first.
easy one. I knocked that out.
The feathers always got me. In
Feathers
those
are
games.
kinda
I hate
annoying.
I hate collecting things.
It's more so annoying because it's an old game and there's not a collectible tracker in game, so you have to actually use a map on your
right, and
computer.
see where the fuck
That's
they are.
annoying.
Oh, it's like the fucking blast shards from the first Infamous.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
Yeah,
exactly
actually,
right.
it's a little worse because maneuvering around the city isn't nearly as free.
And
as
the blast
Infamous.
shards you could pulse and see
Right.
if any are around.
Not
you,
in
you know?
one.
Not in one.
No, in one, that
That's
was the
annoying.
worst fucking thing in the world. That and I don't know if anybody ever played The Amazing Spider-Man by Beanox Studios,
You know I did.
but the comic books, there was one comic book that's all the way up at the top of their
Yeah.
Empire State Building, and it didn't show up on the map.
I fucking
Yeah.
love
Use, like,
how
their
Stan Lee
sensibility.
narrated that game, though.
Ugh.
Wow, that's awesome. We
Pissed
got a
me
bunch
off.
of stuff. Johnny.
That's what I was just
Dragon
going to say.
Con.
We got a few things we need to do. Thank you to Dragon Con for the repledge on our Patreon. Thank you to Johnny for his resub. Do some wheel spins. And also, if anybody knows what Guitar Freak wanted for his Chubby Bunny and what James wanted for his Chubby Bunny,
Yeah, I didn't
we need to do those.
see James's at all. I didn't actually notice if Guitar Freak said anything. or
This
not.
one is for Johnny. Thank you so much for your resubscription, Johnny. You're amazing. See what we get here.
1000 XP.
1000 XP to spinner. Can you still handle that?
Yeah, it's
Exclamation point add space the number of XP space the name of the person. This was Johnny. 1000
1,000.
XP to Johnny.
and I can do the at. Do I do the at in the name or just the name?
Just the name.
So no at symbol.
No at
Just
symbol.
exclamation point add 1,000 Johnny Pulsar.
Yep.
And we also missed another pledge. Hids, please let me know
Did it.
who that was so we can do a spin for that person. I'm going to do Dragon Con first. This is for Conrad, who has been pledging on our Patreon for quite a while. He gets 1,000 XP to the entire room.
Well, way to go, Rob!
So that's exclamation point add space 1,000 space all, if I remember right. And we're waiting to find out what that last one was.
Drew just decided like all of pi, and then was like, if I remembered correctly.
Way to go, room, says Strife Girl.
I'm glad that caught on, guys.
Not sure who that
I'm also
repledge
really
was,
glad that
unfortunately.
XV caught on. Because everyone was trying to fight me on XV for a while.
I just think it's funny. It's an
You guys
entertaining
came
way to
around.
say it.
It's the only way to talk about it. Because it's not 15.
There, I
It's
don't.
fucking
Has there
X.
actually? What I love about this, and we have our chat. The four of us, And then we have another chat with a couple other people.
Heads.
And there's only one person out of the entire 6 of us that isn't going to play this game. Has there ever been a game that we've all united? Like, I don't remember
I never
a game
saw
that we've
this coming.
No, you didn't at all. That's the other thing I was going to bring up. Like, how
Wait, who's not?
happy-
John's not gonna play?
Johnny's not going to play it.
He said he might.
No, he's not going to play it. I know Johnny. This is not his type of game.
I don't know about that. I really don't. How is it not his type of game?
I don't know. He seems not to be into Japanese RPGs, but
Yeah.
I feel like this.
It's like barely a Japanese RPG.
Aw.
That was for Hids. He gets 100 XP.
But anyway,
We
it's-
just missed the video game script, I think. Or...
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know what we would do tonight. Greg, do you have any
100
video game
XP?
skits?
Yeah, I have a bunch. I put them in. Oh, I just never renamed the folder, but they're in Power Up Extra Life still.
Okay, so maybe we can make one work if it does come to that. All right, so we're all caught up on the wheel spins, but we still need to do Chubby Bunny. I'm ready to go if we want to do a Chubby Bunny while we do Community Question of the Week.
Wait, are you doing a skip for Chubby Bunny, or are you just doing
No,
Chubby Bunny?
I'm just
No,
saying.
we didn't get skit yet.
Just random. By the way, this is going to
Oh,
suck because
oh.
these marshmallows
They're
are just
terrible.
terrible.
I have a really good skit that I found. It's about Chloe's ass.
Job32X left a really nice comment there. He said, "You guys are the hardest working people in video game journalism. With your budget, you guys produce superior quality over other companies."
thanks, man.
And then blank IGN.
I mean, I'm really proud of what we've been doing.
I'm really proud of you. You put a lot of fucking work in it. Not that you don't, Dean. You put a lot of fucking work in it, too.
No, it's okay. I just pretend I'm not here.
But, like, realistically, and you've said it before, like, the amount of work that you put into it is
I just
fucking
feel like in
ridiculous.
general, we've been getting some attention lately for the amount of work we put in, and I'm really
It's
proud
nice,
of that.
yeah.
Especially on our YouTube, just the comparisons being made, like people saying that we are the best reactions along with Easy Allies and stuff. I'm just like,
Yeah, it's
that's
really
awesome.
nice. Everyone's
For
super
people to
You
say
really
guys,
that.
you both nailed it out of the park.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you guys, and
Thanks,
for
man.
you, my
Thanks, brother.
friends.
This is a nice time.
Feeling the love.
Cherish
Alright.
this moment because it's about to get real fucking mean in here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on to some dream crushing. I'm gonna just shove a freaking marshmallow in my mouth.
The
talk with
entire
you that
time we're
way.
doing Dream Crush?
Well, dream crush doesn't happen. I'm gonna get this marshmallow in there.
Get
Good,
it in.
Dean.
That's
Get it
what
in there,
she
man.
said.
Guys, I know you've
Alright.
missed it. So it's time for the community question of the week. Of course, you can go on your PlayStation 4 systems. Look us up under the Level Up Network. Join our community. We're going to ask you guys a question. You're going to answer it. And we're going to read off your responses live on the show and publicly maim and humiliate you, as we like to do.
Oh, Wolf! Wolf is like me more Mark now.
Lewis,
No, Wieners.
Winner!
Wieners likes you more than Mark.
More than Mark!
That's fucking intense.
That's pretty awesome.
That's a little blasphemous in a way.
The this one.
scary.
Go back
It's
up.
fine. People change.
Go ahead, Jim.
The question this week is list. Well, it's technically a demand, not a question.
Right.
List 3 predictions for PlayStation Experience.
So what I figure here is we're gonna grade people on how accurate they were.
I like this.
I like how you can talk right now
Switching
because
it
it
up.
sounds perfect.
So you gathered all of
You
these.
can't do that little last.
Okay,
You gathered all these before the conference.
Exactly, yeah. All you came before the conference.
Okay.
I love this.
DMAC Rules with a Z 1994 said Spider-Man gameplay. You fucked up because they said they're not going to do it. PSN name changes. Oh, doctor. Games that will release that day. That's a little general.
You got part of that.
Yeah, because they did do that one. What was that?
I
You know, several
i.e.
games.
Drawn to Death. Here's the thing. No, you get a negative 1 million
Here's
points.
the thing. His Playman comment came before.
Yeah.
And Insomniac said that.
He was still wrong.
He's
though.
not wrong,
He was
I'm
still
just
wrong.
saying.
He was wrong with all 3. First of all, the last one you can't just say get. That's the same
a
as
very
being like
general-
they'll show games. Like no shit, there'll be
Oh my god,
games
can
that
you laugh
release
like that all the time?
That's a given. Every fucking time they do that, it's out today.
So
So
does he get any point?
no, he gets negative 1 million points to fucking Slytherin because
I
you spell your
want
name
to
with a
keep
Z.
track of the points this week, and I still want to see who wins.
So what was it?
Who wins?
Who wins?
All right. So who was
You
it?
do what you gotta do.
What was your ruling?
Negative 1 million points to Slytherin. I would have gave you a better house, but you spell your name with a Z. KP 2.0, the homie, says Uncharted 4
my God.
DLC. You nailed it.
Done.
Spider-Man gameplay with a release window of fall 2017. Lofty goals. I wish I would have believed that, but there's no way that's
Yeah, not at
2017
this point. Not if they're not showing anything else
That's
yet.
not 2017.
I was hoping.
I wish,
But-
yeah, but seems 2018 is conceivable.
Yeah, I'm actually going to say it's probably going to be a September 2018 or well, wait, when does Homecoming come out this
I would
summer?
love
Right?
to be a spring game, honestly, fill in that gap.
We would have to really see a lot
Homecoming
more for
is summer, next summer,
Is this
2017.
coming summer?
Yeah,
it. Okay.
well, this summer, not next summer. Yeah.
But told you didn't really know anything, so now I'm confused. Are you journalists? No, we're not. That's why we were impressed that somebody thought we were journalists.
This is professionalism at its finest, right here.
We're not journalists. We're just
We just love games.
yeah, we're just a bunch of idiots who like games.
really trying to take
We're
it
not
seriously.
Oh, KP, come on. Various PSVR titles.
I know it
announced.
just went downhill
Wait.
hard.
Were there though?
Yeah,
Were there new ones announced? I'm trying to think.
There was 2.
yeah, there
I
were new
think.
ones.
Wasn't what's it called? The Ace Combat. Wasn't
That's
that
not new though. We knew about that. We knew about.
Don't you hear everyone talking about it? Because PSVR is all the fucking rage. Everyone's talking about it now that it's out there, Andrew.
Hey!
Everyone loves it.
It's sold out.
All the rage everywhere.
It's sold out. They just didn't ship it.
Hashtag I'm fucking right, bitch. Told you nobody is gonna have a shit.
Oh well, he got the
about
first one.
PSVR.
He got the first one.
That's it though.
Yeah, but and again, you have to remember these people are calling these predictions before anybody said anything about the Spider-Man game.
I don't give a fuck.
They were
not what
wrong,
this is.
right.
This isn't about being fair. This is about doing what I want to do.
All right, we'll do it.
However, as I've explicitly made clear before, replay favorites and KP was real good to the kids. He gets the max 1 million points. Ravenclaw.
He got the maximum 1 million points.
No, he gets the max million points that he lost.
Oh,
He got those million
I
points.
see. I see what you're
So
saying.
Slytherin is negative 1 million.
Yeah, good luck.
No, I'm not worried about that. I just want to see which individual person wins this week.
Oh, so
Sure.
KP.
So KP's in the lead right now.
All right.
What do we do for the winner?
Oh.
Not a thing.
No, nothing.
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 He responded with PSN name change. No.
A lot of people called that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was
It
surprised
seems
it didn't
likely.
happen either.
It seems
I was
like
very
With,
surprised.
what's it called? Kind of
that's
funny
not,
being
that
silent.
doesn't seem to me a thing you do at a conference.
Well, they could do it at GDC.
They
actually, I'm
could
thinking. I'm
do it
wondering
at-
Honestly, I feel
Why?
like PlayStation Experience was the perfect place
For
to
a
do
name
that.
change?
Yeah, because you don't do that at like an E3 convention where
Right.
it's supposed to be focused on like legit things. This was like a, hey guys, like we know
We
fucked
love you.
up. Like we love
I
you.
don't think they
Here's
should
some
have done it
PSN
at
name
E3.
change.
I don't think they should. I think they should have like put it out in a fucking tweet or the PS blog. Like,
At this
you can
point,
change your
yeah,
name.
now I think so.
Don't get on the stage like an asshole and be like, you can change your name.
I know. I'm just saying if they were to do it at any conference,
Do they do it
PSX
like
is
that?
pretty much
Exactly.
the only
Yeah,
one
if
that
they
do
were
it.
gonna do it
That's
at
how
a
they
conference.
Make the announcement.
PSX.
Sorry, Greg. What was that?
I said I hope that's how they make the announcement. Someone just walks on the stage and goes, "You can change your name."
Yeah, it's just
Get your right.
it's such a like a basic function. Like, don't make a big deal out of it. Just,
Right.
Just announce it and get it out there. You were wrong. Sorry. Crash Bandicoot footage. Nailed it.
Got it.
And it looks
Good job,
great.
man.
Right, it looks really good. For a
Insane
remake.
trilogy.
New siphon filter.
I had to kind of narrow him down here. This wasn't really a prediction so much as just a desire, he said, but it's what he gave, so
Yeah.
didn't happen.
Sadly,
Yeah, new siphon filter would be pretty cool.
I want that so bad. Blacklist was fucking awesome.
I don't even know what siphon filter is.
Really?
You would like it. You would like it a lot.
You don't know me.
I do.
Kind of, spy,
Don't
espionage
be.
type game.
what kind of gameplay is it? What's
Third-person
Uh,
shooter.
Third-person
Stealth.
shooter. You can either do stealth or full balls to the wall, or a mixture of both.
Often was compared to Metal Gear Solid back then, although it is
Now it's a little
considerably
bit different.
I'm
It's,
going to do what I like to do and look at the first Google image, and I'll tell you if I like this game or not. No.
That's original. Look at Blacklist.
I'm sorry. It's over. I
That's
told you
not
the
what-
first image that came up.
The worst.
I don't like siphon filter now. Officially, that's level up show canon. Scoozy, you get 16 points, and you're a part of Hufflepuff.
So KP's still in the lead by like 1 million points.
Yeah. Spoilers. He's probably going to stay there. Lunar Striker said Marvel
boy, this is
vs.
gonna be good.
Capcom announcement.
Saga series.
Shenmue 3 update?
Well, first let's say he's on with the first one.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom was announced.
How quickly did he put that on there? Was that this week that he put that on there?
It was after the rumors had started.
Okay.
But still,
Alright.
he got
No,
it.
that's good. I mean, that's fine.
Yep.
But
However, no
She gets
Shenmue
that.
3 update whatsoever.
Riding that
None.
train, just take other people's good ideas and make them your own, right? That's America. That's what we do. Shenmue 3 update. What did I don't even know what Shenmue 3 is. It wasn't there, right?
No, it wasn't there.
You surprised, really?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised you don't know what Shenmue 3 is.
What is it?
Well, do you know what
Google?
Shenmue is?
No.
In general. Okay.
Nope.
Well, at the E3 where Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced,
Google.
they also announced the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter.
you're not gonna, dude. If you like this and don't,
It was a
like Kickstarter,
Dreamcast
I'm
game.
leaving.
Shenmue
I'm
was a
done.
Dreamcast game that everybody loved back in the day.
Don't even try to fake it. Don't.
Yeah.
I'm honestly really surprised.
Show
you
him
don't
the
know
image
what
though.
Shenmue
Show him
is.
the image of.
It's the first one.
Yeah, it's not your kind of game. No.
No good.
There's no way you were liking that.
Some new Sega game, i.e. Phantasy Star Online 2.
That's pretty vague.
And incorrect at the same
Lunar
time.
Striker minus 700,000 points.
Wow.
Slytherin.
Yeah, I guess Slytherin. I'm sorry.
KP 2.0 is still in the lead.
By a lot.
By a
Guitar
lot.
Freak 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 said The Last of Us 2 trailer.
How quickly, yo!
I want to give
Hold
him
up.
a win almost for this.
Where
Balls.
the fuck did that come up?
Anybody
Balls.
that guessed The Last of Us 2, I was like, you're a fucking moron.
But here's the thing,
And now I
Guitar
am.
Freak, I love you, but this is a fucking stupid ass guess. Because he just put it out, like, he's not one of those, like, you know what, I see the cards playing.
You don't
and everything.
know. You
This
don't know
is
how
him
he
just,
got there. You just know that he got there, man.
This was just I'm just gonna throw every fucking thing to the wall and see what sticks, and for some reason, Last of Us 2 trailer was on there.
Ginkgo Swag asks, has there been a game that has passed your Google image test?
Yeah, has there?
No, not yet. But it should be said that that's only... Shenmue 3 is only the third time we've done it.
Yes, it's really new.
We'll see. One of them is bound to test one of these days.
Another thing that you started recently is The List.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is really damaged by The Last of Us 2 being announced.
Yeah.
No, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, but you don't
The
want to hear about
Last
The Last of Us anymore.
period. The first game. The Last
Yeah,
of
well,
Us...
you're going to be hearing about the first game a
Well,
lot.
why would I?
Because the second one was announced.
Yeah, but now we're going to be hearing about the second one. I'm good with that.
Okay.
I don't want to hear about that first game anymore. We're talking about that shit for fucking feels like 12
What's on your
years.
list of things you don't want to hear about anymore?
The Last of Us, the game. Again, it's not because I don't like what's on the list. It's because I'm tired of fucking hearing about it. It's over. We need to move on from these things. The Last of Us, original. No Man's Sky. Please.
We're talking about No Man's Sky tonight, by the way.
Yeah, we'll never stop. We'll never stop talking about No Man's Sky. Hideo Kojima.
Fuck
That was one of the more recent
Again, I
add-ons.
told you it's not that I don't like these things. It's that it's enough. You gotta talk about something else. You know what I mean? What was the last thing? Something stupid, right? Everything popular is on this list, pretty much.
I can't remember what the last one was.
It's on there. Let me think. The Last of Us, Hideo Kojima,
We're gonna be here.
No Man's Sky. I'll think of it. Give me time.
All right, let's finish this off. What are the other two predictions?
And then Journey sequel, he said. Oh,
Death Stranding demo on the PlayStation Store. That's
No.
a solid guess.
We got a new
but
trailer at the
that would have
Game
been
Awards.
fucking nuts if they put
It
a
would have
Death
been
Stranding
dumb
trailer,
because they would have put out a
on there.
demo and then 9 years later we'd have a
Right,
different
like
game
it would have
and-
been the Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
issue,
and then a
like-
Journey sequel. Guitar Freak, I'm gonna give you 1,500 points. I'm gonna cut you a break and put you in Gryffindor this week.
KP 2.0 is still in the lead
People
with
are
a million points.
flip-flopping houses at Hogwarts.
You fucking get
And to
around.
finish it off, the 9 Fox said, new trailer release date for Ni no Kuni 2. Wow,
Got it.
you nailed
Got it.
Hideo Kojima reveals more of the cast for Death Stranding.
So close.
You were very close.
One day late.
Yeah.
It was the Game Awards.
You were
when it-
close.
2 days late when it happened.
The last guess is solid too. Ken Levine reveals his unannounced game he's been working on.
I wish.
God, he has been gone
Good guesses.
forever. What, like 3 years now? I haven't really heard it. He did a mobile game, didn't he?
Yeah. No. I think you're probably thinking of the BioShock team that worked on the Flame and
that's
the
who it was.
Flood.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Flame and the Flood, which is coming to PS4 now, by the way. I think
Yay.
Derek personally should get the win on this.
Derek's getting 3 billion points for Gryffindor.
There you go. I feel like Derek deserves it. I mean, to call the Ni no Kuni, to be really close on Death Stranding, and then to have a good guess with Ken
Also,
Levine. I
he
like
made
that response.
specific guesses, whereas KP had various PSVR titles announced. I don't play that shit.
Right.
You can't be doing that. Guys, that's it.
Oh,
Our
someone said
PlayStation
Pokemon
4
Go too. Is that on your list?
No, not Pokemon Go. We're not there with Pokemon Go yet.
Right.
Because that happened only for like a week, and then everyone
Yeah, it's
moved
gone
on.
now.
The things on the list are things that like people have been talking about like for years at this point. You know what I mean? Like it's over. I'm gonna think of the last one. I think it was Overwatch. Was it? Who said Overwatch?
It might have been
Rick said
Overwatch. It's probably
It's
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Overwatch
It
is on the
is.
list.
That is
100%. Good call.
And to soothe Michael, sorry, he said, is Ni no Kuni 2 a PlayStation exclusive? It is.
Yep.
Yes.
PlayStation exclusive.
Guys, that's our PlayStation community question of the week. It's not on PlayStation, but you can join our community on PlayStation.
By the way, there's now a PlayStation Communities app
there
on
is.
your iPhone and Android device.
Correct.
By the way, still a third-party app. By the way, still no way for us to change questions.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to you guys, but we can't change the message of the week, which kind of sucks. But you guys can check the messages on the community, and you can add messages on the community without the need for having a PS4, which is kind of amazing. All you have to have is a PSN account, and now anybody can take part in community question of the week.
And for those people that really want to support Sony, instead of just having 2 apps on your phone, now you have 3.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
I'm making a physical version of the list.
I'm glad. I want this to become a thing.
so
That's why I brought it up.
It's going to become a thing. It's going to accrue over time.
All right, guys, we're going to go to the first commercial break of the night. When we come back, we're talking about a lot of cool news this week. No Man's Sky updates, for one, Dean. We're also going to be talking about Nintendo and their plan for Universal Studios and more. So hold on tight. TX Puck will be back in approximately 60 seconds. Welcome back, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 149. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you like what we're doing at any point, please hit that heart button at twitch.tv/the Level Up Show like
Tap
Beers
that
did.
shit!
We'll shout you out. You'll get notifications whenever we go live. And please remember the prize wheel is still active. Anything worth $5 or more, we'll get you a spin of the prize wheel, meaning tips, pledging on Patreon, subbing, resubbing on Twitch, all that good stuff. All right, we are going to move on to the Level Update. This is our weekly discussion of the week's biggest gaming industry news.
What are you drinking there?
Yeah.
Is it an actual Star Wars drink?
Yeah, it's on the way home.
Nailed it.
First up, I'm sorry, Dean, No Man's Sky is finally gotten an update. Finally, they've broken the radio silence and talked about this game.
I'm glad that
is
it
there
took
a
them
limit?
this long to say anything, though, because that means that they were smart and didn't overpromise before they released anything at all.
Right.
Which
Can
is
we make a
the
deal?
opposite.
2017, we can't talk about No Man's Sky anymore.
I'm okay with that. I'm pretty much at my end as well.
I feel like this was worth talking about because they thought this is the first big update.
This is a big update, although it
yeah.
doesn't quite add enough for me to jump back in. Let's talk about it. No Man's Sky Foundation update adds base building. Hello. This comes from Hello Games. This week, Hello Games will be releasing an update to No Man's Sky. We're calling it the Foundation Update because we have added the foundations of base building, and also because this is putting in place a foundation for things to come. In the 9 weeks since then, our small team has been hard at work on development, testing, and certification for the Foundation Update. It won't be our biggest update, but it is the start of something. The discussion around No Man's Sky since release has been intense and dramatic. We have been quiet, but we are listening and focusing on improving the game that our team loves and feels so passionately about. Positive or negative feedback, you have been heard, and that will truly help to make this a better game for everyone. Here's a little bit of the notes on what's going to happen in this update, or has already happened. Has it released yet?
I don't know.
Okay, well, it has new game modes.
Nobody knows.
Of course, you still have normal mode, but you also have creative mode now, which allows players to explore the universe without limits and build a huge base. And there's also survival mode, which really changes the game. It creates a much more challenging endurance experience. Base building is the biggest part of the update. Claim your home planet by finding an uninhabited base and creating your own fully bespoke. Is that how you say that word? Bespoke? Outpost. Construct your homestead for shelter using modular structures and decorations replicated from resources gathered while exploring. You can populate this thing. It's a lot deeper than I actually ever thought they would do with the base building. It's pretty cool. You got farming now. You can cultivate biome-independent crops outdoors or inside your base or later using hydroponic labs. What did he say?
He just said yes!
Yes!
I'm glad this is speaking to you, Greg.
That's what he's waiting for. Greg has always said, as soon as they add farming in a No Man's Sky, I'm in.
How many times have I said that?
So many times.
But
I've
wait
heard
to
it so
hear
many
this.
times.
Greg, you can hire a farming specialist to research and grow 10 new plant types and discover new resource elements.
Suck my balls and call me Shirley.
Nice. And then you got freighters. You can purchase a huge interstellar freighter at great expense and then summon them from anywhere in the galaxy. Resources can be teleported to your freighter while on planet, ideal for stockpiling goods for trading. And there's also a bunch of other little patch notes. One of the most noticeable to me is that they added new anti-aliasing that drastically improves the graphics of the game, as well as motion blur that really makes it feel more like a space game. Like, you can't have a space game without motion blur. You're traveling at light speed and shit. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Tell me about it.
You know? You know?
We need to get what's it called on the
That
No
was
Man's
the
Sky.
highest. I've never heard your voice go that high.
What's the woman's name from the PSX panel yesterday?
Shelby Cox.
Shelby Cox.
Shelby
We need to get her in here to talk about some No Man's Sky and get us all.
I gotta.
My favorite part of that whole story was Drew goes, I wonder if this released yet. Do you know if this released yet? Mike goes, I don't know. Dean goes, nobody knows.
It apparently did. It released Tuesday.
Okay.
I was
I
looking
thought
at the
so.
video though. It's weird. I'm looking at it and I honestly am questioning why the fuck I ever played this. Like, and enjoyed it. Like, I really am. And it's not to say that I don't know why anybody did, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, how did I have fun playing this game?
I don't know why anyone did. I'll say it. I don't know why anyone did.
I'm having
I
Stockholm
was
syndrome
fucking
by looking
ringing
at
the
it.
bell
I'm like,
hard on this thing.
I will say the
forever.
first 3 hours were awesome.
right, it was interesting.
That's really fun.
And then it just was like, all right.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
What am I doing?
You know what I really liked about Shelby Cox? She did.
Yes, tell me.
She personified Chad, our
Yeah.
favorite waitress, for a moment when she was like, "Oh, and by the way, it releases today."
I don't think you have in mind.
We got a poll for you guys in the chat. I think Greg might have already put it there. Our question to you is, will the Foundation update bring you back to No Man's Sky? A, I never left to begin with. Still enjoying the game and excited for the update.
Who are you?
B, I'll give it a shot and see how I feel about it. C, nothing could ever bring me back to No Man's Sky. Or D, never bought No Man's Sky, likely never will. Let us know.
Chitty chitty
please, in the
bang
poll.
bang voting that shit.
All right, moving on. Go ahead, Mike.
I want to take a sip first.
Do that. Do
I
it.
will. Nintendo further discusses plans for Universal Nintendo theme parks. Nintendo writes, imagine the fun of stepping into a larger-than-life Nintendo adventure. Gigantic piranha plants spring to life, question blocks, power-ups, and more surround you, and Mario and all of his friends are there to pull you into a brand new world. You will enter an entire realm filled with iconic Nintendo excitement, gameplay, heroes, and villains. And it is coming to 3 Universal theme parks around the globe. The creative visionaries behind Nintendo's legendary worlds and characters are working together with the creative teams behind Universal's blockbuster theme park attractions. Their goal, to bring the characters, action, and adventure of Nintendo
interrupt
video
you for a
games
second?
to life within...
To
I was
all
busy
the-
thinking about this.
To all of the new people, sorry, one sec.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the new people, I see a bunch of you guys, awesome, you want to take part in the poll, you actually have to click on the link in the chat and
Yeah.
cast your vote there. Typing it in the chat won't actually cast your vote.
Yep, it'll
Right.
just go unheard.
So I know some people know. I know I
Right.
saw a couple new people that might have not.
Apologies to those
Absolutely.
that can't click on the link because some people
on the phone
might
or
be
something
on their
like
phone
that,
or
yeah.
whatever. Although I am looking at alternatives to doing polls that would allow it to go back into
Cool.
the chat. The reason we started doing this poll system
So
is
much
because
easier.
you can do the code, the
Right.
command for it, which makes it so much easier.
You would
put
have to
into-
go and put the
Yeah.
poll in and type in the answers.
Right.
It took forever. Anyway, where was I? And to do so in new and innovative ways that capture what makes them so special, all of the adventure, fun, and whimsy you experience through a screen will now be around you in breathtakingly authentic ways. In the ways are Nintendo-themed areas coming to the studios in Japan, Orlando Resort, and Studios Hollywood. There'll be expansive, immersive, and interactive, highly themed and authentic environments. Guests will feel as if they're playing inside their favorite games in real life. There'll be something for everyone, regardless of their age or gaming level experience. And planning and creative work on these areas is well underway. They will open separately over the next several years. So this is, this
Excited.
is something that we could see in 2 years from now.
Yeah, when
the
I go
US.
to Disney and Universal in a few years, we're planning on it already with Eevee. They might
Yeah.
have this there. Oh man, I would be so
That'd be
excited.
amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I don't want to sidetrack, and I'll even come back to this. Does anybody else feel where you guys have heard where they're putting the Death Star for Nintendo's theme park?
No, I
Oh, you
haven't.
haven't? I'm surprised. And I forgot to
I'm
bring it up.
assuming Epcot.
Yeah, they're changing globe, the Earth globe, into
the Death Star.
Death Star.
Fucking awesome.
That
Is
is
it
cool.
though? Like, I actually
Yeah,
don't know if
it
I
is.
like
It's
that.
fucking
I mean,
weird.
if there, any place makes sense for it, I mean, Epcot was originally supposed to be Tomorrowland. It was supposed to be the
Right.
idea of like the future and all this kind of stuff. So,
Right, so I guess
if anywhere makes sense.
I just feel
that
like
makes
out
sense.
of anything in Epcot, because Epcot's their least performing
yeah,
theme park.
unless you like
But-
food,
Right, huh?
Epcot's awesome,
it's
dude.
the best for food.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like Epcot. Epcot.
Epcot.
I like the Epcot.
I love
I like Epcot, but the Globe is the most visited attraction there.
I got a little
So-
bit drunk in Epcot when we went last time.
I believe it. I believe that
I
very
mean,
well.
they've messed with that a few times. I mean, at one point they put the Mickey hat on it. And, you know,
That's
they've
one
done-
thing, but it was still the same thing. I mean, they're going to basically, you got to remember, they're basically going to cover all the weird bumps and everything all over it, and it's going to look like a Death Star.
You
So
think
from
it's
now
going
on-
to stay like that?
And that's the other thing I'm
Stay
wondering.
like
I'm
that.
curious how long this is going to be. I mean, they were saying, they didn't say anything about the Star Wars attraction being a temporary, like, for these many years.
Yeah.
They said this will now be a Star Wars attraction.
It might seem like a crazy workload, but this is Disney World, where they do just the most miraculous shit.
That's true.
Like when they
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
the entire freaking castle into a birthday cake.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like that
that's
must have
right.
been freaking tough.
Yeah.
And then how long did that last
They,
for?
they
Right.
do a lot of this shit like overnight. Like you go to sleep, you go back to the park. Like okay, we're just talking about this. I'm going for my honeymoon next year after we get married, and we'll be there for Halloween. And then I'm pretty sure like within a day or two they turn it over for Christmas.
I believe that.
So like we can go back and like see everything for Christmas, and it's like it's done. They did it.
Yeah.
It's there. So like they fucking are. There's so many of them too. You got to imagine. To this story that you're
Yeah,
talking
sorry,
about,
the Orlando one.
Yeah, let's talk about the ideas.
Sounds
for
fucking awesome.
attractions.
Yeah, I
First
think
thing that
it's
came to my
really
mind is Mario Kart.
Yeah, you got it.
my
You
You gotta have
got
a
it.
go-kart
dude,
place
that
for
would be
Mario
amazing.
Kart.
Now, how
So
do they
would
do
you-
the weapons? though?
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Like, do you just have like plushies of
Yeah, just
shells
peg
and
shit
we
at
just
each other?
peg shit
I
out
don't
to
know.
drive it?
I don't know how you make it work, but I want Mario Kart.
Or
Yeah,
do you think
they
it's
gotta
gonna
do
be
that.
one of those like on rails thing where it's predetermined who wins and you know
Yeah.
Did you Smash Brothers? It's just a fucking death pit.
they just give you boxing
No,
gloves?
you know what? No Mario Kart could be like. It could be
Someone
like
just
that.
throws a hammer.
It could be like the Buzz Lightyear ride where you have like the gun
Yeah,
that you're
right.
shooting at
That's a
shit.
good idea.
Imagine like an on rails Mario Kart where you're
Super
like
good idea.
riding with people like zooming by you and you're like trying to like
Right.
do your power ups on them and maybe you can even control
Oh,
a
like
little bit.
yeah,
like your
you hit.
track.
Well, you hit what like you cross over something that you know you have a screen in front of you,
Yeah.
and you just choose what you hit the thing. Like you choose your power up, and then you can choose to use your mushroom, or you can choose
Yeah.
to use your blue shale of death. And if it simulated goes up to the car in front, it blows up and stops their car and dead in the tracks while you. Yeah,
Sounds
they could
pretty
definitely do
awesome.
something like that. That would
Yeah,
be cool.
that would be cool.
I'm actually thinking of like an obstacle course. Where you go through like a Mario level where you have to climb on the fucking pipes,
Yeah.
and like one that you can choose to go down or you can go past.
What's
it
gonna
and-
be the what do you think is best suited for a roller coaster? They usually do like a
Ooh.
roller coaster.
Probably
type
Mario
of-
Kart
You
actually.
think Mario Kart too?
Do like rainbow.
Oh my god, Rainbow
fucking
Room
cool, dude.
Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That'd be cool.
What about you, Greg? What do you think? What would you turn into a ride? What would be like the main attraction of a Nintendo
God.
themed park?
Mario Kart was the one I thought of too, but I was thinking of making kind of like how Hogwarts is at Universal, doing that, but like the Legend of Zelda,
Yeah, like
Ocarina of
Hyrule,
Time,
that
doing the
would be
I was about to
castle.
say- I
and
was about to
making,
bring up, like,
Hyrule
Zelda's
town.
Castle is like a main attraction.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. I would love like a tour through of like the Mushroom Kingdom, kind of like they do a Small World.
Fucking
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Donkey Kong's jungle as like a jungle themed area where it's like you have the rope
I
bridge
could see that
and all
being
that
like
stuff.
a kids area, like a jungle gym and all
Oh my
kinds of
god, that
stuff.
would be fucking
Yeah, that'd be
legit.
cool.
There's so many properties.
Honestly,
they
I
can
feel
go
like we
to.
nailed this.
Splatoon,
I feel like they
Yo.
need to come to
They did very
us.
well.
right?
I feel like we nailed this.
Splatoon, they just give people water soakers with colored paint.
Oh yeah, you
and
can totally
just
do
squirt
a you
it
can
away.
totally do like a little water park.
Oh my god, the
inside
water
there?
park out of Splatoon.
There's really a lot of possibilities, so I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what they do with that, and I'm sure they'll just keep adding as
And
time goes
when
on.
you guys run out of ideas, we got tons of them. So
Yeah.
Seriously.
come to us.
Dean, you're up with the next story. Go ahead, man.
December PlayStation Plus and games. With
Before you say that, Greg, why don't you reveal the poll results from our last poll about No Man's Sky? No Man's Sky.
Man,
The Minskys.
No Man's Skies. We were asking you guys if the Foundation update could bring you back to the game.
Spell that right?
We
Okay.
had 4 votes for I Never Left to begin with, still enjoying the game
for
and excited
you
for the
guys.
update. We have 5 votes for I'll give it a shot and see how I feel about it. We had 1 vote for nothing could ever bring me back to No Man's Sky. And we had 9 votes for never bought No Man's Sky, likely never will. I'm actually a little surprised that we had 4 votes for I Never Left to begin with.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's more than I thought we would get
a
for
lot
that.
more. I thought I was going to get like 1 or 2 maybe.
Yeah.
You guys
Here, I
realize
feel
there's
like
other games.
nailed
right?
it. You nailed it with your first guess. A Yoshi roller coaster and all the little carts of the eggs behind Yoshi.
That would be cool.
Very nice.
Wait. Do we get like the thing for Donkey Kong where you just go into a barrel and just shoots you to other barrels?
Just a minecart Donkey Kong level for a roller coaster.
So good.
So
Would
the
be
track
good.
just like drops out.
Yeah.
Your cart just drops, like flies through the air. You have to jump over.
I've just
beast.
realized that like Nintendo
so many,
really
dude.
lends itself well
Yeah.
actually to a theme park.
You can do a whole. You can do like a Metroid Prime, like laser tag type of thing. Too.
Yeah.
Well,
There's all
Metroid
kinds
Prime,
of
remember
stuff,
in 3, they had the rail thing where you had to hold on and
Mm-hmm.
shoot the stuff, so they could even do an on-rail coaster with that.
So much.
We could keep going.
We could.
All right, but you were going to say, what are the PS Plus and Games with Gold games?
It is the season for games and gaming.
Did you rate that?
No.
Okay.
No. As you cozy up next to your PlayStation, prepare for the holiday treat. This month we have Invisible Ink Console Edition on PlayStation 4 and the ever-changing narrative of stories, The Path. What is this? Of Destinies.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of that.
I haven't heard of either of them, to be completely
I've heard
honest
of
with you.
Invisible Ink.
But
many times.
I heard Stories is actually really good. That's what I've
heard
been reading since this
Invisible
was
Ink is
announced.
phenomenal. I'm excited.
Yeah, I
for
heard
that.
Invisible Ink is very good. I will never play either
Okay,
of
cool.
these, but that's good, I guess.
Well, once again, focusing on the
Yeah,
indies.
no,
Yeah, not my
this
month.
is not my month.
Yeah. Invisible
Not
Ink
hashtag not my
Console
month.
Edition combines turn-based strategy with a world of espionage, use stealth technology, and teamwork to break into the most dangerous corporations in the world. If stealth and intrigue isn't your cup of cocoa this winter, no worries. This is my favorite write-up ever, by the way. Stories, The Path of Destinies on PlayStation 4 is also coming your way. Guide the heroic Reynardo, who wins the award for coolest name, through an always evolving world that will feel colorful and vibrant, where your choices will affect not only Reynardo's fate,
Whatever the last game was looked actually kind of cool.
That was Stories.
but the lives of those around him.
And Evan and Harry says, I enjoyed Stories, but it's short game. That's not a bad thing for
no,
me.
that's perfect.
that's fine.
'Cause I don't feel like playing that for a while. I just want to try it.
And the rundown is as follows. Invisible Ink PS4, Stories Path of Destinies PS4, Hyper Void PS3, Tiny Trooper Joint Ops PS3, cross-buy on PlayStation 4 and Vita, Color Guardians PS Vita, cross-buy on PS4, Color Guardians,
Pretty
pretty
easy
solid.
trophies, right?
pretty solid. I wouldn't say easy, they're kind of tough actually, but
Are they?
fun game. What the fuck is this? VVVVVVV. I don't know if I said all the
That's
V's.
exactly how you say it. You say VVVVV.
For PS Vita, what the fuck is that?
I have no idea.
Alright. You can get that if you want to. Major Nelson writes, on Xbox One, Xbox Live Gold members can download Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition for free during the month of December. Outlast will be... Do you want me to read the prices? I didn't think so. Will be available as a free download from January... Here we go. December 16th to January 15th. On Xbox 360, starting Thursday, December... You guys gotta stop. Just give us the month, next month, new games. On Xbox 360, starting Thursday, December 1st, Outland will be for free on Xbox Live Gold members through December 15th. Then on December 16th, Xbox Live Gold members can download Burnout Paradise for free through December 31st. What are you most excited for from either the PS4 or the Xbo? Your options are Invisible Ink, Stories, Path of Destiny, Sleeping Dogs, Definitive Edition, or Outlast.
You said no to reading the prices. However,
Right.
what's interesting about that is somebody they did the tally up this year, and I think
Yeah.
for PS Now, which is cheaper than Xbox Live, it was
PS Plus or PS Now?
I'm sorry, PS Plus, which was cheaper than Xbox Live. You got just shy of $1,100 of free games for the year.
Nice.
Little bit shy.
Xbox One was $950.
Did they include all the Vita and PS3 stuff on PlayStation Plus?
That I don't know.
They probably did. Xbox usually has more expensive games, actually, because they usually try and go with retail games, even though they're really old retail games.
That's the problem,
They
is-
still cost more than the indie games that PlayStation usually goes with.
Depends on when you get them, though.
I gotta give
Sleeping
it
Dogs
to.
you can get for $15-20.
I gotta give it to Xbox this month. The
Yeah?
PlayStation games is just all sound terrible.
Stories actually looks right up your alley too. Were you watching the gameplay?
No, I was reading.
You actually might like it if you look at the gameplay.
Do we give it the Google image
No,
test?
don't, because you're not. It's not going to work.
I mean, Xbox, once again, going with the more recognizable
hate you.
games. But like Outlast was one of the very
hate you
first
so
months of PlayStation Plus. I got Outlast, I think, the second month of PlayStation Plus on PS4. So they've had that forever. And the other one was Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition, which I also
It's
think.
a hack and slash. It's like a beat 'em up type thing.
What? Do you actually
looks
like the way it looks?
No, I
I
don't
don't
think it does.
know. First image, I gotta play.
That's
I gotta play by
better,
the
though.
rules though.
No, I get it.
I want to go by this image.
Right, that's what I was seeing. So it's very much like imagine Transistor, but like I don't know, Devil May Cry style or something.
Does
like
it pass the Google image
On the
test?
first image, no. If I'm playing by the rules, it does
Okay.
not pass the test.
What is this?
I was going to say,
You always gotta
wasn't
get its
Sleeping
image
Dogs
search together.
also a PlayStation Plus title before?
that. Yes.
That's
A
what I mean.
long
I
time
think
ago.
both of the Xbox One games were already PlayStation Plus.
Right,
games.
so that's what, and I've
So.
seen that consistently throughout the entire life cycle of Xbox games with gold and PS
Yeah, I would
Plus.
play this story.
Beers just said it as well. Wasn't Sleeping Dogs also on PS Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. All right, final story
I'd
goes
spend
to
like
you, Greg.
2 hours with it maybe.
Okay. Where's the window? Oh, it's expanding. Here we are. InfoScout PS4 takes the shelf. Xbox wins the browser. InfoScout writes, looking to squeeze every last drop from an existing generation of consoles, both Microsoft and Sony released minor upgrades leading up to Black Friday in an effort to win the all-important holiday shopping weekend. Xbox trimmed down the device itself while adding support for HDR gaming and Ultra HD Blu-ray players, coining their new console the Xbox One S. PlayStation followed suit on aesthetics, offering the PlayStation 4 Slim with a sleeker design. Sony also looked to capitalize on the 4K TV trend with the November release of the PlayStation 4 Pro, offering enhanced hardware performance and support for 4K streaming. Driven primarily by a discount at Target for the PlayStation 4 Uncharted bundle at $212, Sony won the war of the shelves for the 2016 Black Friday weekend. They sold, the percentage-wise, they sold 58% to 42% from PlayStation 4 to Xbox One. The Slim 56, the Pro was 3% of that. Not surprising there. I feel like the
Well,
Slim
yeah,
was
I mean the
doing
Pro
something.
wasn't really discounted in stores. The Pro was
Yeah.
only discounted online. So why would anybody go out on Black Friday to get a Pro?
No.
Yeah, and then for the Xbox One S, the 500 gigabyte was compared to the 1 terabyte. That was 34% to 7%. And then when it came to online shopping, the storyline was different. The appetite grew beyond the base 500 gigabyte models with the Xbox 1 terabyte Battlefield bundle, which was marked down to $299 from $349 at major retailers or e-tailers, garnering an 18% market share. PlayStation 4 came in 45% to Xbox One's 55%. The PlayStation 4 Slim at 40% to the PlayStation Pro's 5%, so a little bit higher. And then the Xbox One S 500 gigabyte 34% to the Xbox One S 1 terabyte 18%, so higher there as well. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
but once again, there were no online deals on Black Friday for the Pro. It wasn't until Sunday for some reason, and then of course
Yeah.
Cyber Monday is when you started seeing the Pro deals, and that's why I got the Pro actually.
Yeah, they got down
general
to
numbers for this
$310.
No, I don't think so. We haven't gotten any numbers yet. But I thought it was a little surprising. I didn't think PS4 was going to win Black Friday when it comes to retail. I thought it was going to be the opposite, actually.
Right, no, and that's what I was about to say. It surprised me because what I saw in retail, and I went to multiple stores trying to get a few things, I saw no Xbox consoles, and I saw a ton of PlayStation consoles.
Yeah.
So this is
That just shows that
confusing.
anecdotal evidence doesn't really tell you
Right,
much,
and it's
you know?
well, it's weird to me because where are these people buying this shit? Like, is it? I mean, I guess it's other parts of the country, but I mean, I went to. It's not just a couple stores in the same town. It was
Right.
a couple stores here one day, and a couple stores another place another day, and then one's out by Katie. So it was like all over the place. I saw no Xboxes anywhere.
And also, I think I read that Cyber Monday-wise, PS4 was the best-selling on
I
Cyber
believe
Monday.
that because there were better deals for.
I mean, going by that information, it seems like PlayStation's going to take them off.
I guess
But
I was not expecting that at all.
Cyber
It's
Monday
confusing
fucking
me.
sucked. There was nothing.
In many ways, yeah.
There was nothing out there.
There's a couple good things here and there, but yeah, this year, as far as good pricing, goes, there was less good. There was certain good deals that were great,
Right, yeah.
But overall, it was very lackluster.
Beer says, I bet they make Knack free on PlayStation Plus before Knack 2.
We've been calling this for a while.
I don't think they will, only because there actually is a standard when it comes to review scores for PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
They've almost never dropped below like an 80. They almost are always above an 80 as far as Metacritic goes for their
I got what, a
games.
7.5?
Knack? No, Knack has like a 50 on Metacritic.
Really? It's down
yeah,
that low now?
it's super, super low. That's always been my problem. I don't understand why it was reviewed that terribly. But yeah, I don't think they'll put it on there for that
People
reason.
are coming away pretty positive about that second one.
Yeah, supposedly they did a lot of tweaking, listening to the feedback and trying to make it a better action platformer. So we'll talk about that later.
Also,
when we
if
see
they
it.
don't put it on PS Plus, if you want to play it, hold out, because they'll definitely at least put it on a really good sale, I bet.
Yeah.
I would be surprised actually if it doesn't come packaged with the
That's what I was just gonna
That'd
say.
be cool.
I feel like they're gonna do the
Yeah, that
first
makes
one like
sense.
together.
That would be cool.
They should do that with Ni no Kuni as well.
And that's the other thing is I'm betting it's going to be a digital. You can buy it. They're going to announce it whenever Ni no Kuni comes out. They're going to probably announce something at E3 or TGS. For whatever date it's going to be. They're going to and whatever it's going to be is you can buy it digital now, and it's going to be available in with the game if you buy it. Kind of how they did for South Park.
That would be cool. Mel says, I'm actually scared that we'll make Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 for the new console. I think it's going to be cross-generational when they finally release. I think it's going to be so late in the generation that there'll be a next-generation version of those games. Especially considering 7 Remake is episodic.
Right, and
Maybe
it's gonna
Episode
start
1
in-
isn't, but Episode 2
Yeah,
certainly
it's
will
going to
be.
start on PS4. I can't imagine it's that far out to where it's going to be whatever PS5.
I mean,
bet
they already
you-
announced The Last of Us 2, and they said it's a PS4 game, so
Yeah.
that
yeah,
game's
but
got
they
to be
also
years
said
away.
that for Final Fantasy versus 13.
Yeah, but this is Naughty Dog. They're a
Well,
little different
that's
story.
true.
They don't.
I bet you when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, I have a child. I'm making that bet.
Holy shit.
I bet you.
Slap bet? Anybody? Anybody?
I'm not taking
I'm
this.
going to be a father. I'm not going to be getting slapped.
Yeah, I could see that maybe. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is a couple years away, maybe.
so bad.
You think so?
No.
Bad if it takes that long,
uh,
dude. But I really think it will.
I see
I
it being
don't
a 20. I see it being a 2018 title at this point.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2018 title. I agree
I think
with
it'll
that
be
too.
like a spring. 2018.
Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah, Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts 3. I think it's gonna be.
Oh, I'm not
spring
going to have a
2018.
kid in spring 2018, I'll tell you that much. But I don't think so. I think something's going to happen. I think it's going to get delayed. Like, delayed.
I don't because I think we're gonna see Final Fantasy VII Episode 1 hit like September. They're probably gonna
Of next year?
of next year.
I would love that.
You don't think so?
I know.
Really?
I don't know.
I think so. I think with what we saw, and I think for how long they probably have been working on it, I think it's going to hit probably next year, late next year. That's why I'm thinking September, October, and then springtime, because that episode's probably only going to be, 10 to 15 hours.
No, that's not what they're saying.
No?
They're saying it's going to be a full. Each episode is going to be
How
a
are they
full
going
RPG.
But here's the thing: if they're only
Like
if they're
40
breaking up
hours.
the game, but if they're but
They said it's going to be Final Fantasy 13 like length, which is about 40 hours. So if they're telling the
know,
truth
dude.
there, then that's what it'll be around.
No, that's not a hit. I'm not having a baby. It's just not. I'm just not.
Greg, will you reveal the poll results for the
Indeed,
PlayStation
already.
Plus and Games with Gold question?
That reminded me of who's the neighbor in The Simpsons?
Ned Flanders.
Yeah,
I
Neighbor
never
Rooney.
did, never.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as what you guys are looking forward
Mr. Rogers
to,
a little bit.
we had 2 votes for Invisible
Yeah, he
Ink.
did.
Well, I disagree.
Yeah,
We had
yeah,
0 votes for Stories. We had 2 votes for Sleeping Dogs, and we had 1 vote for Outlast. Not a lot of votes there. Not a lot of games I think people are
Stories
actually
look like the
excited
best,
about.
the most exciting one out of all of those. Like I don't get it.
KP 2.0 says spring 2018 for Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, that's. I say 2018 is more in line with my thinking than 2017. All right, guys, let's go to the second commercial break of the night. Hold on tight. Soothe Michael. We'll be back in approximately 60 seconds. Welcome back, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 149. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you like what we're doing at any point, just hit that heart button at twitch.tv/the Level Up Show, like Zarenzo. Zarenzo? We'll go with
We're
that.
also up to 80 people in the room, so I know some of you are new. So follow us or die.
There you go.
Okay.
To anybody who is joining us from the PlayStation Experience reaction video, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit that heart button so you can catch everything we do here on the Level Up Network. We're on every week with gaming talk shows and game streams. Also, a quick mention that the prize wheel is active. Anything worth $5 or more, meaning Twitch sub, resub, pledge on Patreon, tip $5 at theLevelUpNetwork.com/tipjar. All of those things will get you a spin of the prize wheel, and we might do some crazy activities if that
I
happens.
want to agree with McLovin123 in the chat. He said Drew's reaction to Final Fantasy VII Remake is still the best, and
That's
that is my favorite reaction.
Probably our best reaction, I think. Actually, that and Last of Us 2 are pretty fucking close.
Yeah, I'm real fond of that Last of Us 2 reaction.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
really
liked it.
Bierce, one of our newest followers, is now also a subscriber.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you
so much.
That's awesome.
Let's give Bierce a spin. Thank you so much, Bierce.
But Dak said, "Wow, this is an intense show." I'm assuming that's the Greg's follower die comment.
All right, well, Bierce, you're new.
Welcome to one of the oldest running gags that we have for the
probably
show.
going to be so confused
as to
by
why
this.
the fuck we're doing it.
Yeah, newbies will probably watch this and they're like, what are you doing?
Are we ever retiring this one, or is this something that's going to
I don't
stay,
know.
you think?
I don't know.
We already retired Dino Team.
I don't know.
It's time for a pterodactyl.
It's pterodactyl, Andrew.
I feel like
back
if
in
we
the
I
lose
like
old
this
we
edition,
lose our
though.
hearts.
This is almost like I wish we had it at the beginning edition.
Silent Killer said, "I still haven't beat The Last of Us 1."
That's
That
disgusting.
gives
Gotta
me
do it, man.
agita.
That is
Pterodactyl
disgusting.
has this to say.
You gotta do it. Wow, that's a very jiggly one.
Are you flapping this time?
Slow flap as I rise.
Slow flap as I rise. Sounds like he's writing like what is the porn that's like written people
And that just got us a
like,
follower from Jay Rizzler.
There you go.
Sounds like that like written porn articles since flap as he rise.
Oh, speaking of, they're making a Final Fantasy 15 porn from Brazzers.
Well, I'll be watching that. I'm guessing it's Cindy.
All right.
I'm assuming it's Cindy.
I'll be watching that.
All right, moving on. Let's get back into the level
What just
updates.
happened?
What was that, Greg?
I said, what the fuck just happened?
Everything.
Pterodactyl, man.
Everything
The
is
slow
that's awesome.
flaps as I rise is getting to me. I loved that. That was good.
All right, let's get to The Last Guardian. As I was saying earlier, we have some news, some impressions on The Last
Oh,
Guardian.
I'm so excited!
I'm so excited too, especially considering the impressions.
Chat's my favorite tonight. Comments are so good, dude.
Fumito Ueda issues letter to fans with release of The Last Guardian. He said, "Dear adventurers, it's been a long time coming." It really has. But I take great pleasure and relief in knowing that The Last Guardian is in your hands. When we first began work on The Last Guardian, I intended to take it from it and build on our experience working on Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, making it something akin to a greatest hits album. Unfortunately, as you know, we ran into many twists and turns along the way, and the title took longer than anyone expected. Still, just as Eco and the Shadow of the Colossus are truly unique games, so too is The Last Guardian, an experience unlike any other. As you play, take the time to stop and enjoy the scenery as you follow these unlikely companions on their journey, and you definitely won't want to miss the ending. The development team and I hope you all have a wonderful time with The Last Guardian. Nothing would make us happier. Greg, will you put the poll in the chat?
It's
We have
in
a question for you guys. What will The Last Guardian get on Metacritic? We have a little bit of a bet going here. Greg and I think it's going to get 80 plus. Mike and Dean think less than 80. So what do you guys think? Will it be 90 to 100?
Is an 80 an 8, right?
Yeah.
I said an 8.
No, you did
No,
not.
you didn't.
Yes, I did. Watch our episode that you, Greg, and I did
The entire
of the PlayStation
purpose of this
podcast.
argument is that
Yeah.
you thought we were crazy to say that it would get an 8
Yeah.
or above on Metacritic.
I said
You
above.
said-
I said 8's going to be the max.
Right, he did say between 7
Watch the episode.
and
When
8
we
Okay,
did
so
it on
you're saying, like-
PlayStation, I said 8.
So you're saying 80 is the max.
Yeah, this is max. He said
Okay,
probably
we're-
going to be like
Greg and I are
7.5
saying
was
above
your-
80.
Greg was saying like 9.5, some shit like that. And I was like, I think you're crazy if you think it's getting a 9 or above.
Oh,
At
I
this
said,
point,
I hope it gets
reading-
a 10 out of 10. I think it's gonna land at like a high 80, maybe an 85.
I'm
That's
saying,
what I
I'm
think.
just saying what you said the night we did the PlayStation podcast,
I originally would have guessed low 80s, like
which
an
is the
83.
only time I predicted a score.
But reading the impressions on NeoGAF from pretty much everybody, I'm guessing high 80s now. Like this, it sounds like it's awesome. Like it's everything
well,
that
yeah,
everybody
the
wants.
My
episode and the
bet right
predictions
here,
were
right
made
now,
before all
is
this
88.
came out.
Right.
So I mean, you guys will be a bunch of flip floppers. That's cool. But I'm gonna
Well,
stick
no,
with
I'm not flip flopping. I'm still in that camp of it's going to get above an 80, but now I think it's going to get considerably above an 80.
Yeah,
I thought it was
I
going to
guess
be kind of tight. It doesn't seem like it. If
Yeah, not
this
now.
evidence that I'm reading is true and expands beyond just the NeoGAF fan base.
I'm sticking
Hey,
with
listen,
it.
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. At the time, from what we all saw, and Dean, you said it's probably not going to, 8, you said 8 if they're lucky, but it's probably not going to get that.
I'm gonna rewatch that episode. I said 8 or 8.5, something like that was my max. I remember.
But like I was right. I feel like you and I were like right in the same page, or I was with somebody else and I wasn't alone. I felt like it was justified from what we knew. Now seeing this, I'm probably going to be wrong, and I'll admit it.
Yeah, well, that's
but
the
like,
thing. We can't go tweaking predictions after fucking previews come out.
Yeah, I'm not tweaking my
Rick.
prediction. I didn't say that.
What'd you say, Greg?
Derek, I'm not afraid of Dean.
Who said you
I
were?
want to put that out there. Derek said they're afraid of the beast. Dean is a beast. I appreciate him greatly, and I admire him in a lot of aspects, but I'm never afraid of him. I love him a lot.
Does that
And
make you
that's
feel
what
better? Because we all know the fucking truth. I'm sticking with an 8.
Okay.
I think it's still going to ride an 8.
I'm going to look up that episode because honestly, I remember you saying you thought it was going to be like 7 or lower.
That's what I thought. That's what I remember you saying. So
I
remember
said
you
that
saying
too, but
I
I thought he was
did.
with me. But
I did say that, and I
Yeah.
said I think you're gonna get an 8 or something around an 8 at best is what I said. I did say I think around 7.
Yeah,
and I
that's what
said
remember.
8 at best.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I
Was
remember,
my
right.
was my ceiling, and I think the previews are gonna
I
hurt it.
remember somebody saying, maybe
Because
it was
it's hyping
Mike
people
then. I
up.
remember somebody saying that it was going to get like a 6, a 6.5, and the highest was going to be a 7. And I
Yeah,
was
that's
like, I hope
I'm
it
with
gets
you,
a
Greg.
10.
I feel like these guys were real like lowball on it.
Mike wasn't even there.
Yeah, Mike has given his predictions. Maybe not in that episode, but Mike
Yeah.
has also given his predictions on
Yeah,
this.
I'm not saying that specific episode. I'm saying in general over this course of us discussing the game. I've been saying the whole time, I'm like, I want it to be a 10. I think it's going to be like high 80s, low 90s. Drew's like, I don't think it's going to be that high.
Regardless.
Here's what the impressions are confirming to me is that it's exactly as I said. The game's got clunky controls.
Mm-hmm.
It has some frame rate drops and whatnot. Everybody's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatsoever. By the time you are invested in this creature and what's happening in the game and the puzzles are amazing, you're not going to give a single shit that it drops down to 25 frames per second.
But
That's all I want to know.
is that okay though?
I definitely
it
will.
is with
It
a
is.
Team Eco game.
I
I'm sorry, it is. It is with a Team Eco game.
That then you can't. I never
I
want to
disagree.
hear you say anything
bullshit,
about
dude.
Bethesda getting a pass because they're Bethesda.
Bethesda gets a it doesn't get a pass because their games are just flat out buggy.
Nobody
Dude,
gets a pass.
you know what? Fuck that.
I'm not
That's
saying they get a pass.
double standard.
I'm not. Bethesda doesn't get a pass
I'm
because
not
their
talking
games
about like
are
a couple
buggy.
frames drop. I don't give a fuck. If the game's stuttering, I'm not going
Okay,
to
I'm not
like,
saying that. I'm
you know
saying the
what I mean?
game that has frame drops.
Yeah, well, if
I'm
they're-
hearing
if
that it
they're
averages around a
noticeable-
27, like frame rate.
That's
Like that's
whatever.
fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's whatever.
Like
I'm just
if
saying
it has
it's
some
like,
frame drops to 25,
Yeah,
like,
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, especially for that kind
But it
of game.
depends on how much it happens. If it happens every fucking chapter because of big
Everybody
fights,
is different
like a big
though,
scene-
especially game wise. Like again, if it was like a first person shooter or something, yeah, you're gonna give a shit. But if it's a puzzle game,
Yeah.
if it drops to 25 frames per second here and there, no, I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna care.
dude, because it's polished. It's all you have to. So I mean, don't get me wrong. If the game is perfect, except for that, it will never be a 10 because of that.
Well,
The
yeah, it's
game
not
could
gonna get
have-
10s. Nobody's gonna give it a 10.
Well, but that's what I'm
probably, right?
saying. Like you have to be it has to be subjected to all the other rules.
There
and
are games that have
regulations
gotten
and
10s though that are
standards
buggy.
we hold to everything else.
Yeah, that's
You know, it's you can't just hold it. You can't say, oh, it's a puzzle game, so it doesn't matter. Fuck, if The Witness looked like shit,
Yeah.
it still has great puzzles, but people would fucking shit all over it. Just because this is a fucking Team Eco game doesn't mean that it gets a pass.
See, I
if
disagree
frame rate
completely with
drops.
that. The Witness would not have been shit on if it dropped down to 25 frames per second here and there.
If it
The
doesn't
reason The
perform
Witness
like shit.
reviewed so incredibly is because it had amazing puzzles that was filtered throughout a story that was told through the world building and had some crazy twists and turns, and especially in the environmental storytelling as well. Nobody was like, this game runs great. It's like, no, it looks beautiful.
It doesn't
It has great
matter.
puzzles.
It doesn't matter if all games dip in frame rate. Yeah, every game, The Last of Us, everything.
Right.
At some point in that game, yeah, it dips. It happens. If it's stuttering on the screen and you can see
it's
it,
jarring
that's a problem.
or anything like that,
No,
right.
I don't give a fuck if it drops and I can't even notice. I don't care. Why would I?
No, that's
Who
right.
cares?
Yeah, right.
Anything for me, if it drops the way the Shadow of the Colossus dropped, I'm not going to care. Like, Shadow of the Colossus was fine for me, especially for that kind of game.
I mean,
so if
it
it's
should
similar to
fucking
that,
run
then
better than Shadow of the Colossus. It's
yeah,
2006.
it probably will too.
Right.
So Shadow of the
Like-
Colossus didn't run that great on original PS2.
I'm definitely not where you're at with it's like Team Eco. It's all good with me. First of all, they had plenty of fucking time to get it right.
Well, again,
Plenty
though,
of time, dude.
See, it's a weird thing that it's a development hell cycle. So people can look at it either way. They can be like, they've been working on this for 10 years, it should be perfect. Or you can look at it as they worked on it for 10 years and went through crazy development hell. For it to turn
Yeah.
out even decent is a surprise.
I see, like,
you know,
I look
it
at
goes
the
either way.
situation-
Like it's a surprise if it turns out great, and it's also a surprise if it turns out terrible because they've been developing it for 10 years. You know?
Yeah, but they haven't. At some point, the whole game probably changed.
Exactly. That's what I mean, though. So why would you even bring that up?
Because in that time period, when they did switch up the game, no one held a gun to their head. Being like, yeah, we're still working on this. We're still working on this. They could have shut the fuck up and been like, we need to fix whatever it is that's holding us back. That's why I would bring it up, because if you're gonna put the game out, get it right while you have the time. You fucked up all these years anyway. Take the extra time.
The whole reason they moved
it
it to the PS4 is because it couldn't run on PS3.
Right. So, but all I'm trying to get to is if it's and it could have been taken out of, but if it is a jarring situation to where I notice it on the screen, to where it takes me out and I say, man, that looked like shit. Like Final Fantasy 15 has it perfectly. If you use that fucking gravisphere or whatever move that I keep telling you guys, about, and you use magic at the same time, and there's more than like 6 enemies on the screen, your system is going to chug and or freeze. I actually had my system freeze on me once. Luckily, it was a random encounter.
Okay, a freeze is something, but would you give a shit if it chugs a little bit here and there during battle when you do one move?
That
see, that doesn't bother me enough to where I'd like bring it up in a review or something.
And this is like bogging down the whole game.
Yeah,
right, but that's
an instance.
That's what, but it has to, again, it's subjective. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen this, but like if it's a thing where it takes me out of the game and makes me notice it, I'm not going to be like, it looked really crappy at this part, but it was awesome otherwise, so it's a perfect game. Like, that's not going to happen.
That's like Final Fantasy 15, for instance. I keep hearing that, not Lestalem, the city they're trying to get to, where they're going to Luna. What's the name of the city?
I don't remember.
It's a city in the water. Heard it's absolutely stunningly
Altissia?
Beautiful, but the entire game dips in frame rate for the entire time you're there. But everybody's like, but it's the best part of the game because it's so beautiful. You understand why it's dipping in frame rate there. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, games, this is the way they work. It's give and take a little bit here and there. Right. Should they have cut a whole bunch of shit out of that area and made it look worse, or do you let the frame rate dip a little bit in this location?
But that's also the whole argument too of why, and that's why I'm a big advocate of it. Like, the story is what matters most. I don't think necessarily because you're a certain person you get a pass. Like, even Naughty Dog, like, they're fucking phenomenal. All their games are amazing, but like, I don't just say like, oh, like Naughty Dog, like, you're perfect, so who gives a fuck? Like, The Last of Us, for me, one of my biggest complaints about that game is that in some sections when you're walking up as Joel, Ellie will run around the side of cover, and clearly every one of the enemies just saw her, but they don't react to her, because then that would be a game-breaking fucking mechanic. But like, that game in my head is still a 10 out of 10. Does that make sense? So like, that's how I'm viewing this. Like, if it's not game-breaking and definitively shutting down my experience, I could still, in my mind, rate this game a 10 out of 10, even with.
No, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying, too. I just didn't want it to be... I was hoping that people weren't like, oh, it's buggy, the frame rate drops, and it's a considerable amount throughout the entire thing because, certain events happen, and people are like, it does this, a bunch of times, but don't worry about it. It's a Team Eco game, so it's good. And I like that... I
don't think it's so much it comes down to it being a Team Eco game as the type of game that Team Eco makes. Like, if anybody else were to make a similar game, you would also be like, yeah, the frame rate doesn't matter too much in this kind of game, like a puzzle-focused game. It's not as important as a first-person shooter or a God of War or something like that. It's just, it comes with the territory, I guess you could say. All right, that was a long discussion.
It was.
Did we tell everybody that there's a poll in there?
I hope it's good.
Right.
Like, my previous prediction on our podcast was just my feeling on what I knew at the time. But yeah, I'd love to be wrong. Someone was like, I'll be salty if it's good. No, I won't. I fucking hope it's great.
It's still buying it.
I'm spending $60 on it.
It could just be the echo chamber of NeoGAF that likes this game as well. So it still could be terrible. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm hoping for the best, man. I hope that'll be what a fucking like underdog story if they come back and just nail it.
Right. I feel like
it's awesome.
That would be insane if Final Fantasy 15 and The Last Guardian both came out after 10-year development hell and were both good games. Like knocked out
a week apart from each other.
That would just be unbelievable. We'll give a little more time for that poll.
My statue, I want it.
Go ahead, Mike. You're up.
It's fine. There is no poll for this one, but we are going to talk about Hideo Kojima. Sorry, Dean.
And I kind of expected it.
Jeff Keighley and his talk on the VGAs the other night. In an interview with Glixel, whatever the fuck that is.
I think it's a new site. I've been seeing it a lot lately.
Yeah. Keighley said, quote, I haven't talked much about that, but it was such a difficult time because he was going through a lot last year. He was shocked when he found out just days before the show that Konami wasn't going to allow Kojima to attend, and he felt he had to say something despite the company being a sponsor. Quote, "The fact that he finished the game under those circumstances is just amazing. He was locked in a separate room on a different floor than his development team for the final 6 months of development. He couldn't even talk to them. He had to talk through somebody else, and that is how the game was finished, or quote-unquote unfinished, which is why it felt so weird."
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised it turned out as good as it did.
Because it was still a good game to me.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't like your favorite at all.
It was Game of the Year nominee for a ton of people.
Right,
so yeah,
for you,
people
I'm saying,
liked it, yeah.
Like,
A lot of people loved it.
and there's more to this. I mean,
Did you play Metal Gear?
Yeah, I loved it.
You did? Greg, did you play Metal Gear?
No, I played Ground Zeroes.
Dean,
but I
did
didn't
you play Metal Gear?
No. I watched you play some, and it looked great.
It was fun. It was
I
really
played
fun.
Ground Zeroes as well.
That's probably one of our best Let's Plays ever.
That's a good one.
Ever. I think that's probably our top Let's Play of any game we've ever done.
I was out of my element.
Yeah, so I mean,
But-
part of me always wondered, like,
What the fuck
if
went on?
Konami was getting a bad rap, you know? Like, maybe some things happened behind the scenes that just
Right.
couldn't be worked out, and this is the way it had to happen. But reading something like this, like, no, this makes no sense to me.
No.
That you would lock the director of the game in
Yeah,
another
that's
room
insane.
on another floor for the last 6 months of development. Like, if that's true, there's really no excuse for it. Like, I can't even understand that.
No,
That's
not at all.
weird.
And the speech that he gave at the VGAs, Jeff Keighley, I mean, about Kojima was nice. It was a little heavy-handed,
Yeah, it was
kind
a little
of over the
heavy-handed.
top, and self-satisfying. I think in a way of like, Kojima, I love you.
I feel like he
type
almost, like, tried to make himself cry.
yeah.
He's like, he had, like, tweezers in his pocket, like, pulling
Yeah.
out hairs. Come on.
It
but,
was
like,
very... I was, like, watching that,
like,
just, like...
come on. Yeah, you didn't like
Stop.
the VGAs at all, though.
Stop it.
I don't know.
I like Jeff Keighley a lot.
Right, I like him.
That
And I
was
even thought
too
that
much.
Kojima deserved maybe some sort of recognition or anything like
Totally.
that. I agree to
No
that, but like I
problem
said, it
with
was a
that.
little heavy-handed.
But my dude was talking about him like he saved like a house full of women from fucking World War II bombs. Like, holy shit, dude! I was like, whoa, pull back. This is like the guy makes video games. You know,
You
it
just
was
don't
a lot.
No,
get it,
you're
dude.
right.
You
And
just
it
don't
was
get
like
it.
that. But
There
that,
was
at
a
the same
lot.
time,
There was a lot.
Keighley
going
wasn't
on.
alone. Like, whoever knows Kojima is apparently very loyal to him, because you saw with...
He wouldn't have these connections that he has with all these
No.
professionals from other industries if he wasn't at least a likable person and also a very successful
That dope ass
artist.
photo of Jeff Keighley, Kojima.
That had me worried, dude.
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
No.
Oh, you didn't see that in the treehouse
A
shot?
couple, Neil Druckmann, I think it was.
Neil Druckmann.
A couple people from Sony. Yeah, it was
Keighley.
like
He has a lot of
Fucking,
respect.
like,
But it was all
organizational
together.
titans.
I was terrified. God forbid something happens in that general area. Gaming is
yeah.
fucked for
They were
a
like
while.
outside drinking champagne on the roof. I was like, "Fuck, what is your lives?"
But like, not only that, but then you had. Did you put Guillermo del Toro's thing in here?
We have the whole the Game Awards and all that is later on.
Well, like the Twitter stuff.
with the fuck Konami and
Right,
whatnot,
right. So
yeah.
even he had their, had their backup and went into that about. So it's, I don't know. It's just all of it's crazy. to me.
Thank you for the follow. Who, Falcon?
It was Falcon,
PH?
yeah.
Thank
Falcon,
you, sir.
Thank you so much.
guys,
Speaking of the Game
I'm
Awards and all that,
putting-
let's try and push through these last couple stories here.
Wait,
Dean, you're up.
Wait. Poll results.
Thank you, Greg. We were asking guys what you think The Last Guardian will get. We had 0 votes for 9100. I agree. I don't think it'll get 90 plus. Got 10 votes for 80 to 89,
Yay.
5 votes for 70 to 79, and 1 vote for less than 70.
Well, someone's a
Interesting.
Debbie Downer, you fuck.
Very interesting. All right, Dean, you're up with this XV story.
Cool. Final Fantasy XV ships 5 million units on day one.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
That's fucking insane. IGN writes, Square Enix announced today that across digital sales and retail shipments, 5 million copies of Final Fantasy XV were shipped on... New people are probably like, why the fuck is he not saying the number? Were shipped on day one. According to Square, this means XV has become the fastest selling game in the history of the Final Fantasy series. I don't want to say I'm responsible, but Final Fantasy XV was released simultaneously worldwide. A first for Square Enix, which may have led to the increased sales at launch. Keep in mind that the numbers today partially represent units shipped to retailers, so we'll have to wait to find out exactly how many copies have actually been purchased by consumers. Series sales are as follows. Final Fantasy, 2.5 million. Final Fantasy 2, 1.7 million. Final Fantasy 3, 3.8 million. Final Fantasy 4, 4.6 million. Final Fantasy 5, 3.8 million. Final Fantasy 6, 4.7 million. Final Fantasy VII, 11.9 million.
Yeah, suddenly just jumps up.
Yeah, that's nuts.
With 7.
Final Fantasy VIII, 8.7 million. Final Fantasy IX, 5.5 million. Final Fantasy X, 8.1 million. Final Fantasy XI, 2.1 million. Final Fantasy 12, right? Myself,
Yep, you're good.
There's
You're
so
good.
many.
You're doing it.
You're doing it.
5.2 million. Final Fantasy 13, 7.5 million. Final Fantasy 14, 5.6.
Doesn't that feel like a kid like riding the bike for the first time? You're like, come on, you can do it. I'm not gonna.
I
catch
did
you.
that on purpose. I
I
wanted you to read them all.
my eyes are not like that great. So when there's like
A break.
repetitive text like this
Right.
where it all looks similar, my
It
eyes like start
blends.
getting fucked.
I'm
But it
so
feels
proud
like when
of
I
you.
taught Danny to ride the
Thanks,
bike,
man.
and she's like, I think I can do it. I don't know, and I'm like, no, you can do it. You're good. I'm
You
not gonna catch you.
read every Roman numeral.
I do want to
correct.
point.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that
I've been very clear. I can read them. I just don't like to.
No, I do want to point out though, it's still 20 million less people that got Overwatch.
So, guys, where do you
just wanna
think
put that
Final
out there.
Fantasy XV will fall on the list of best-selling Final Fantasy games? Think it will take the number 1 spot? Think it'll be the second best, the third best, the fourth best, or lower?
So pretty much, do you think it'll beat Final Fantasy VII? Is the question.
I think
if you wanted to take the top spot of 11.9 million.
One day selling 5 million gives it a pretty good shot.
Right, like with the
But I don't know.
popularity of it and how, I mean, you gotta remember, 7 got that number over time.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And because of how long it's been out and how many people talk about it, that's the only reason why it's so high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it didn't jump like that in the first year it was sold, whereas other people that played the other Final Fantasy games, that was within a year or two.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Final Fantasy VII is accumulated over, what, 20 years? Has
Mm-hmm.
it been 20 years now?
Yeah, there's a little bit of back and forth though. There, Final Fantasy VII only released on the PS1. Final Fantasy 15 released on Xbox One and PS4, so you got that multi-platform thing going on there. Yeah, I don't think it'll be personally Final Fantasy 7, but I think it's going to become one of the best-selling, like top 3 is what I'm thinking. right now.
Important to note that XV has my ringing endorsement. It carries a lot.
It's on the back of the box.
in this
It's gonna be, I feel like it's going to be 1 or 2.
Yeah, so let us know in that poll, guys, where you think Final Fantasy 15 will fall in the end after all is said and done. Where
This is
will
disgusting
15
to me.
fall?
My favorite part about Final Fantasy fans is that everyone has a different answer.
Oh yeah, it's the most polarized
Yeah.
fan base ever, dude.
Yeah.
And
So
the
good.
worst part is that like their disagreements are so heated.
Yeah, but
It's
I
like
can
if you
imagine.
disagree, it's like fuck you.
I
You
would
don't
never,
know.
I would never get into an argument with a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah, they're pretty
do it.
passionate. I will say.
Almost as bad as people that like Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
No, not as bad
No
as
one's
that.
that bad. They're the worst.
Greg, you're up with the final story of the night.
I wanted to point out Harley Quinn in the chat room. Hi to you. You didn't answer me back, but welcome. I think you're new to the chat room, and we also have 95 people watching. So thanks, guys, for joining.
you say
if anybody's
95?
new.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
now it's at 90, but yeah, right between 90 and 95.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So, hi if you're new, and feel free to chat with us in the chattersphere. Now I'm going to read a story. EA is taking a few years off Battlefield to focus on Battlefront. IGN writes,
Gross.
EA has announced that we won't see another Battlefield game for, quote, a couple of years. Instead, the company is choosing to throw its weight behind production on a new Star Wars Battlefront title set for release in late 2017. The publisher's chief financial officer, Blake Jorgensen, broke the news at the NASDAQ Investor Program. According to the transcription via Video Gamer, the decision to focus on Battlefront centers around EA's desire to address player criticism that the original game was light on content. Quote, we were really working with the old canvas of Star Wars, the original trilogy. He said, we weren't using any of the new materials that came out with Episode 7 because our game actually came out slightly before the movie. Next year, we'll have the opportunity to leverage more of that content from the new movies, and we think that that'll make the opportunity much larger. The decision EA, the latest publisher that's decided to let some of its biggest franchises follow. Earlier this year, Ubisoft announced that there would be no new Assassin's Creed game in 2016 and possibly no Far Cry game in 2017. If it's an attempt to end the yearly release cycle that many long-standing titles are bound to and ease the franchise fatigue both for players and the developers themselves. Dishonored co-director Harvey Smith spoke of this gamer fatigue back in 2012, describing it as the problem that arises when marketing influence holds too much sway over the creative process. Meanwhile, the new Star Wars Battlefront has not yet linked an exact release date into calendars. However, it's expected to arrive after or during the fall of 2017, which could mean a launch just before Star Wars Episode 8 blasting onto the cinema screens. That's cool.
Why do you think this is gross? Isn't this
I
a
don't-
good thing?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I think
no.
it's a good thing.
Huh?
They're trying to avoid what happened to Call of Duty.
My one
Well, no.
complaint.
So you gotta look at. It depends on how you look at it.
They've got Star Wars games coming. They probably want to give those some room to shine.
So you have.
Especially with the story mode, single player story
Two,
mode.
not
care about
only,
that.
yeah, they have
So,
that, and then they have the
Battlefield
other Star
has
Wars
never
game.
been an every year release. They've never done that. They never should, and I'm glad about that. And they actually haven't been a dual year release. It's been usually about 3 or 4 years every time they put a new one out. 3 to 4 was 3 years, I think, and 4 to whatever the next 4 to 1 was 3 years. So it's usually a tri-year release.
So maybe this is just a non-story, and they're just reconfirming that they're going to wait 3 years before the next one.
So this is the core team that works on Battlefield. Then you have the sub team, and originally they would work on Bad Company. Bad Company went away, and that's something that I've wanted to see come back. I'm not alone, Rick. We talk about it all the time, and there's a lot of other gamers that really want to see Battlefield Bad Company come back. We were hoping that's what they'd be working on. This story to me says that there is no intention to make any other game besides Battlefront and Battlefield. Battlefield being the core Battlefield game, and Battlefront. Battlefront was fine, and I played it for a week. I streamed it the first night. It was awesome, but it was nostalgic awesome.
Yeah,
And
but
that
as
was
Dean
it.
said, you have to remember they also have the Amy Hennig Star Wars game.
Well, right, and they're adding that in. But again, you have the problem of they're bringing back, they're going full. Everybody's going full force into Star Wars all of a sudden.
Star
it seems.
Wars is
Don't get me wrong,
awesome,
Star Wars
dude.
is great, and I love it. But it's just
It's
like,
gonna be awesome.
am I alone? Like everybody's saying, like, oh, you don't want to give them too much of a good thing. That's why you don't want to overdo it with Call of Duty. How is Star Wars being literally fucking everywhere from
it's
everyone
much
at the same time?
Yeah, I know. Look inside yourself. You know why Star Wars.
We're talking about entirely different genres too. I mean, Battlefront versus what seems to be Amy Hennig Star Wars game is literally a first-person shooter competitive game versus what seems to be Uncharted meets Star Wars. Like it's a very different.
No, and I get that.
genre.
Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like I don't like. DICE has done something right for a few years, and I get maybe they want redemption from Battlefront because it got good reviews and it got good reception initially, and then all of a sudden everybody was like, actually, I don't care anymore, and no one plays it. It has a very low player base. I haven't actually. I deleted it from my system a while ago because I realized I didn't touch it since it first came out, and I have no desire to go back to it at all. And most people feel the same way, and I feel like they want redemption. That's fine, but to possibly neglect a series that people want to see come back, or focus on what made them great. If it wasn't for fucking Battlefield 3 being as good as it was, no one would be even considering DICE to be touching the Battlefront series. So there's a lot of things to me that just don't sit right. So there is a little bit gross to me.
I think you're going to be all right here.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I have other things to play.
No, I
It's
mean
just-
with the Battlefield conundrum, I think they're just taking a little time off, and they're going to come back in a couple years in the Battlefield game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Were you asking the chat what their favorite Final Fantasy game is or something, Dean? I saw Carlos respond to that.
Everybody was just talking about it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I think they're all coming off
Jumping
of my
off the,
comments saying
yeah.
like everyone has a different favorite.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm gonna put the poll results in the chat.
Thank you, Greg. So where do you guys think Final Fantasy XV will fall as far as sales go when all is said and done? We had 4 votes for it will take the #1 spot, beating Final Fantasy VII at 11.9 million. We had 3 votes for second best, 1 vote for third best, and we had 1 person who thinks it's going to be 4th or lower. I think it'll definitely end in the top 3. That's what I'm feeling right now. We'll see what happens.
I'm feeling
I
number
could see
2.
It all depends on how much of that is shipped versus sold through. But hopefully most of that shipped was sold through. All right, that is it for the level update tonight, guys. Let's move on to the second community-focused segment of the show. Also, thank you to the follow from Incognito Games. Is that what this is?
Yep.
And we also had one from Harley Quinn and many others. Thank you to everybody who's new in the room, getting a lot of new people from our PSX reaction on YouTube, or The Last of Us 2, for instance, all there on youtube.com/levelupnetwork if you want to check those out. If you're new here, please hit that heart button. We'll give you a shout out. You'll get notifications whenever we go live. Also, reminder, the prize wheel is active. Anything worth $5 or more, we'll get you a spin of the prize wheel. All right, let's move on to what's it called, Dean?
On the potats.
On the on the spot, guys. Every week, you can submit your hard-hitting question
'em
on
hard.
our Twitter at the Level Up Network. Level spelled LVL. Just use hashtag on the spots, like this person. Dear the Level Up Show, what game do you consider a total disappointment that didn't live up to the hype this year? How about this generation?
Is that even a question?
I know,
Do
I feel like everybody's
Do we
gonna
all
go to the
just
same
think
thing.
around that and say something else?
That was
besides
Strife
that
Girl,
one?
by the way. LP.
Wait, what? I don't know the obvious answer. What is
No
it?
Man's
No
Sky
Man's
is the
Sky?
obvious answer.
I was gonna say Infamous Second Son.
This year.
This year.
not
So
So
this generation.
Oh, I thought
that
it
was the
this
second
year.
part. So
Oh,
this year
okay.
first, and then Generation. Secondly, I'm very surprised at your answer.
Really? Yeah, because
Yeah.
I wasn't that disappointed with Second
I
Son.
was pretty disappointed. The gameplay was awesome, but the whole package was like I wanted so much more from that. Than
There's
I
so many other games that I'm like, this fucking blows. Why did I spend my money on this?
Yeah, there are others, but
We
that
missed a
was
tip.
mine.
Do we?
Let me check that out real quick while you guys talk.
Oh wait, did we do KP 2.0's tip? Was that his?
That's extra life.
I don't know.
What am I doing?
Yeah, there.
If you didn't do
there
his, he
are
did a
others,
$25 tip, I think.
but
Oh wow.
Yeah.
that game I thought was pretty.
I thought we
disappointing.
did for some reason. I'm sorry.
All right, well, let's finish on the spot, and then we'll give your tip a spin, KP 2.0.
Sorry.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you,
Sorry we
thank you,
missed that.
thank
It
you.
wasn't very loud, I guess.
Hey, people be doobie.
So what about, like, this year? Greg, let's start with you. What's the most disappointing game this year?
Was this personal or is this in
Personal.
general?
I think it's personal.
Well, in personal, why would I answer No Man's Sky? I fucking said that game was gonna suck. I didn't play it. I don't care.
Personally, I'm gonna say Ratchet and Clank, the remake. As far as the story,
fuck you
wanted
are.
a lot-
I can't go down this road.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Can't do it, guys. I don't have it.
It didn't have enough of a story for him, guys.
You are. What the shit, dude?
I probably should have expected that, actually.
Why would you
story
ever
was-
expect such
the-
idiocy?
Because if a game
story
doesn't make
meant
Greg
nothing.
cry, he doesn't like it.
That's true.
Oh my god, that is.
The story
Oh.
was so. It was just there. The gameplay was awesome. I love
50 Shades of Grey is okay. That's where the borderline-
to
Why
your
do we
whole-
always bring it back to 50 Shades of Grey?
Everything comes back to that. Well, to your kind of point, Greg, it's for someone who
Dean said Infamous. That's the same. If anything, that's more surprising.
I
than
will
my
admit, I'm
Ratchet
very
and Clank.
surprised.
I am
That
surprised
Dean
at
said
that, but I'm
I
a
didn't-
little bit
I didn't
okay
s-
because he hyped himself up for that
I
game.
didn't say the most.
I think
I
that's
didn't say
going to
that's
be
the most disappointing game, but that is a game that disappointed me after Infamous 1 and 2
Yeah.
were what they were. Infamous Second Son was disappointing for numerous levels. Yeah, the graphics were awesome, the gameplay was awesome, but the protagonist was bland as shit. The villain was whatever. Some of the coolest powers you got at the very end of the game, and then the game is over. There's quite a few things about that, but Ratchet and Clank is a franchise that is about the gameplay above
I
all.
want to point out to everybody, I've only played this remake, so
And it was fucking good.
Hop off my
Right.
dick.
It was one of my fucking
to
favorite
that-
things I played this
to
year.
that sentiment, Greg, Ratchet and Clank is a franchise. There are ones with good story. Crack in Time is a fucking awesome story.
Yeah.
But Ratchet and Clank as a franchise is gameplay before everything.
Yeah,
so
which
you
is
might just not
why
like that
it's
franchise.
It's not my type of game. Everyone, you can love Ratchet and Clank. I want you all to love Ratchet and Clank. I'm just saying, for me personally, I play games. I would rather, like Drew said, play a Team Eco game that's fucking dragging and clunking through the whole way, but I cry at the end of that game because the story touched me, rather than play a game with awesome
Where did
gameplay
it touch
where
you,
I
Greg?
leave it
Grab
and
him
I'm
by
like,
the-
oh.
You know.
Yeah, I'm not on that at all. That's, I guess, really where
Yeah.
our core difference is.
Yeah.
I love
I play games for
story.
games.
Like, I do. I play games for all of it. Like,
Right.
I don't even mean to paint myself in a light with, like, only gameplay, because I don't. I like a good story. But that won't,
I
a good story
played
won't
it,
get you
I
a pass for
finished
shitty
it.
gameplay with me.
I played it and I finished it. I'm just saying, me personally, if that game had an awesome story to it, I hyped myself so much on that game. And I had all of you guys telling me Ratchet and Clank was like the greatest thing ever made.
I want to point out that our viewership dropped from 95 to 79.
Well, here's the thing. That Ratchet and Clank game doesn't have the strongest story. Well, we talked about Ratchet and Clank and told you to play a Crack in Time and stuff. They do it has an awesome story, which I believe when we were here, I said you should go back and play the other ones, and everyone said you don't have, just play the remake, And I said play Crack in Time. You should play Crack in Time first, and everyone said
Yeah, but the
no,
thing, the Crack in Time hinges
no,
so much
no.
on knowing
Setting
the
up,
characters
right,
and
setting
all
up how
that.
they-
I went right into a Crack in Time.
The thing is, no, I still think remake is what he should have played first, because that's what Ratchet and Clank is. As you said, it's platforming and combat before story. So why would
It totally
he
is,
confuse
yeah.
himself
but
on that?
because a Crack in Time gives you a nice meaty game to like get to know those characters on. I didn't play any other Ratchet and Clank
When it comes-
before that one.
when it comes to platformers, and I've said this multiple times on our show, I am a Jack and Daxter guy. I am a guy that loves platformers that has a deep and invested story. Like, I love Sly Cooper, but like that to me is still on the same level as Ratchet and Clank. Like,
I don't know that
Greg, I'm actually with you there. Like
Jack and
that's
Daxter.
always why I like Jack and Daxter more than Ratchet and Clank and Sly
Me
Cooper's
too.
because I love the characters and I love the story.
Me
That
too.
being said, they were only like this far apart.
You would
you
call
know?
Jack and Daxter deep?
No, but it did have like a storyline that I was invested in, and it actually has some pretty cool twists and turns. I like the time travel and all
Jack
that
and
kind of stuff.
Daxter's deep.
It's not.
I don't know if I would
Yes,
say
it is.
deep,
There's
but
a whole
it definitely is more
backbone and
involved.
All right, I don't know what to say,
philosophy
man.
that
I disagree. I don't.
All right, we got to move on from that. Dean, what about this year? Infamous for the generation. What about for this year?
I have to think about that for a sec. I don't know. Come back to me.
Mike,
This year, believe it or not, it's the most random one. Five Nights at Freddy's.
that disappointed you?
Dude, I have never watched anybody play the game ever in my life. I had no idea what the game entailed. But for so many people to talk about for so many fucking years and realizing that all you're fucking doing is checking a goddamn camera and looking left and right and turning a light on and off, the fuck is going on?
You have to play it though.
I thought it was pretty scary.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it was
freaking
pretty
scary. The simplicity of it is what's kind of scary.
I don't know, dude.
I
I was so
pretty
disappointed
scared.
with that.
At first, I was like, "This is not good," and then I was like, "No, this is pretty scary." Not into it.
I think for me this year it was actually Firewatch. I
Really? Okay, I can get that.
I was really looking forward to that game, and especially considering the first 2 hours were so damn good, and I was like totally invested in the storyline. The first 5 minutes when you like realize what they're setting up, I don't want to say just in case because it is so focused on the story, but when you realize like the setup and why Henry is there and what has happened in his past, and I was like, wow, this is an emotional game. Like, I'm feeling this. I'm going to be really attached to these characters. And then 2.5 hours in, it totally pivots and becomes an entirely different game from a story perspective that I wasn't invested in, and it fell apart. And I was so disappointed in that. That really,
Sad.
really disappointed me.
I don't. I'm looking through like 2016 games that I don't really have. Oh, I don't really have one.
No Man's Sky is the other obvious one for me, but
Yeah.
I just want to point out to everybody that my biggest disappointment being Ratchet and Clank meant that this was a pretty fucking good year for the video games that I played. So if that's my biggest disappointment, I think we're doing pretty fucking well.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with your choice. Your choice is your choice.
Everyone always is like, and I'm not.
The bummer.
Everyone's like, Greg, are you crying? Like, what are you guys trying to do? Try to make Greg cry? I like having this discussion with them. My always reaction to everyone else's reaction to my things is whenever I say something, everyone's like, holy shit, fuck! Oh,
Yeah, I get it. That's what I was trying to say in the beginning. Is if you're more of a story lover, then yeah, Ratchet and Clank might not be your franchise. It definitely puts gameplay ahead of that.
I think for the generation, and you guys might know where I'm going with this, I still love the game.
Yeah.
Still a really good game. Metal Gear Solid 5. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You were so disappointed with how that turned out.
Most disappointing game of the generation. Still would give it like an 8.5
Right, I was gonna
out
say,
of
and
10.
it's not for
Don't
the
get me
reason that
wrong.
it's not a good game.
It's a good game. It's just
Not what you
so
wanted.
not a Kojima
Mine
Metal
will
Gear
give me
Solid game.
so much hot water for the whole generation. Mine's probably The Witcher.
The Witcher.
I was kind of bummed. I was so bummed. I was so ready
Yeah.
to like get in there. I'm like, this is my fucking jam. I'm gonna be all
Tried
up in
twice.
the world.
Final Fantasy
That's right,
15
yeah.
is what you wanted The Witcher to be.
Exactly. It's exactly
Yeah.
right. I put like, even with that, I put like 12, 15 hours in The Witcher, and I was like, I can't.
Right, and like you
Can't.
played it when it came out, and then you played it. You took
Months
a
and
break,
months
and then it was
later.
like 8 months later.
I put another like 8 to 10 hours, and I was like, can't. It's just
Yeah.
not clicking with me.
I think my biggest disappointment of the generation was Uncharted 4.
Really?
I'm kidding, guys. It was a
Oh my
joke.
god. Oh,
That would have been pretty wild.
Christ, Greg. We might have had to just... You might have been fired from
That
the
would
Level
have
Up
been
Network.
pretty wild.
It might have been the end of you,
My
man.
joke didn't work, I guess. You guys
We
literally
would have
all-
dropped
it was-
so much respect.
Sorry, guys, we have an interference with Greg's call. We'll try to get him back if we can, but let's move on for now.
I can't wait to talk about a certain Uncharted thing, by the way, in a little bit.
Oh my God, yes.
But first, let's go to the final commercial break of the night. When we come back, we are talking about the Game Awards, and we're talking about PlayStation Experience 2016. Hold on tight, McLovin. We'll be back in approximately 60 seconds. Welcome back, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 149. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you like what we're doing at any point, hit that heart button at twitch.tv/the Level Up Show,
Tap it.
like Incognito Games did. If you want to, you can also get a prize wheel spin like KP 2.0 is about to get for tipping, subbing, resubbing, pledging on Patreon. So let's do that right now. Thank you so much to KP 2.0 for a $25 tip. It's a massive tip. Thank you so much.
Big ol' man. So that's a good call, KP. Game Informer cover reveal for Batman. That could very well
Oh,
be.
that's true. Is there a Gotham by Gaslight skin in one of the Arkham games? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Gravy, I'm gonna
That
say
guy.
no.
Thank you.
And
Thanks,
we're
Net
also
Guy.
doing a respin here for Net Guy. Thank you so much, Net Guy, for your first subscription or
Yeah, that looks like it.
resubscription.
From Twitch
Oh, he
Prime.
switched over to Twitch Prime. Very nice.
Greg, what was that skit that you had ready?
I have like
you
a
game?
bunch. You guys can pick out which one you want to do. I have Portal 2 skits, I have Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 skits, I have Last of Us skits, I have yeah, that's all the skits I collected.
So the Michael...
And KB 2.0, choose who gets boozled by the bean. It's either me or Mike, because Dean won't do it.
I refuse. So the Michael...
Damn it.
Gameplay footage from Marvel vs. Capcom is out. It came out at the Capcom Cup. You can Google it or YouTube it right now. It's out there. It looks pretty
What do you
rad.
guys want to do as far as the skit? Do you want
I'm
to do like
looking
all
right
four
now.
of
Is it
us?
in the outlines or in the...
It's in video game scripts. It's its own folder in the drive. Under
Okay,
Level Up
so we
Network.
got Uncharted, The Last of Us, Portal 2, or Batman. Which game?
Are we trying to do how many people do you want? Because then I can narrow
With the
down.
news,
what
do you want to do Last of Us?
Yeah, let's do The Last of Us.
Let's do this one that I highlighted. Can you see it?
No.
Who got the wheel spin?
Just say 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Net guy.
I'm gonna say
He
2.
should choose. Shouldn't Neko get to choose?
Well,
He gets to choose who's in the skit, but we have to give him how many people are in the
Greg,
skit.
haven't we done the bedroom before?
Literally 8 times. The same
Yeah.
day.
No, what are you not seeing the one I added in? Number 2?
Number 2 for me is the bedroom.
No. Mine is the pun book.
Okay.
It's right there.
That's the one I want to do. So you have to pick. We're gonna do the scene from The Last of Us.
Like,
There's
Ellie's-
only 2 people in the scene.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Joel and Ellie. Net Guy, you get to choose who plays as Joel and who plays as Ellie.
Who plays Net Guy? He's in the corner of the room.
I make a very good Ellie. Just
I
want to
make a
put that
great
out
Net.
there.
And I made a pretty good Joel, at least the one time I did it.
Yeah, we
I
had
liked
good
it.
chemistry on that scene until Dean fucked it up for all of us.
What are you talking about? I wasn't even involved in that. I read a different one.
I did good.
No,
The one
because
that
Drew and I
I
were
was
doing
allowed
the
to do.
emotional scene that I wanted to do all
Before
night on
Greg yelled
Extra
at me.
Life, and you were like, "Yep, this is the worst."
Mike gets the bean.
Yeah, I saw
That isn't
that.
what happened.
Something happened where you said something.
I
was
read my
delusional.
I
but
read
know
my
you
own
wrote it.
interpretation, and you wanted me to read it.
And this is for KP 2.0. He said Mike gets boozled by the bean.
And then you cried about it like a little baby.
Wait, hold on. Let's find out what it is.
And then I whooped your
Can I
ass
see?
in Smash Bros. And you cried about that too.
That is either barf or peach.
Ooh, look at you,
it really?
barf little peach.
That's what it says,
Yeah,
yeah.
the other one was not Bar for Peach.
Looks like the spotted orange one.
I hope he gets barf.
No, I think it's dead,
Me too.
dead fish or smoothie banana.
All right, it is dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie.
Okay, Net Guy is selected. Joel is Drew, and Ellie is Dean.
Oh, man. That's interesting. All right,
All right, I'll do
let's
this.
do the bean first.
No, you'll do it, and I'll do the bean at the same time.
No, I want to
No,
focus on you
different,
eating the
different.
bean.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can chew like that. Just chew like a human.
Oh, nope. I don't want to.
Human
I
chew.
don't want to do it.
It's dead fish. No, not dead fish. What is it?
Barf.
Dead
I
fish?
don't know. I don't care.
Does
what
it taste
is.
like cat food?
It tastes like absolute shit, dude.
It's
I don't know
hard.
what the
If it
fuck
tastes
is.
like cat food, it's
It's
dead
not fucking strawberries. That's all that fucking matters right now. Oh my god, it's in
It's
my
dead
teeth.
fish.
Wasn't
I'm
it
not the
barf or
only
peach?
Fuck you. Oh my god.
All right, so who is Joel? I'm Joel. You're
Joel
Ellie.
and Dean, you're Ellie.
All right, let's wait for Mike to stop gagging first.
Dean, you have to carry the scene. This is all on your shoulders.
Yeah, I'll probably gonna ruin it. Just
Okay, Dean, whenever you're ready.
Give me a marshmallow.
Does
I
Dean
don't care
have
if
the
it's still.
scene?
Just give me a marshmallow.
Hold on a sec. Sorry for leaning into the mic there.
Oh my
guys.
god. I have no drink left. It sucks. Ah.
Yeah, Rick, we all remember my Joker.
Okay,
unfortunately.
Dean,
No.
whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. What scene is this in the game?
This is the pun book scene.
Where are they in that?
I think this is probably.
They're walking through. It's like the random optional conversations you can have.
Yeah, I think this is by all the cars.
Yeah.
What is the leading cause of divorce in long-term marriages? A stalemate.
That's awful.
You're awful.
Do you even understand what that means?
Nope. It doesn't matter. What did the mermaid wear to her math class?
What?
An algebra.
Terrible.
Why did the scarecrow get a promotion?
All right.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
That'll do. All right, there you go.
I loved it. That was good.
Way to go in on that, Dean. It was really hard for me to get invested in that because
Yeah, it's a weird scene.
I had one word answers to
Yeah.
everything you said, but I did
was-
the best I could.
Yeah, we did.
You sold it. You had to sell the anger, Drew, and you sold it pretty good.
All right, thank you.
I feel
I
like
did my
you
best.
delivered.
Bravo, guys. I
All
enjoyed
right,
it.
moving on. Let's get to the Game Awards first because there's definitely less to talk about in the Game Awards.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm over the Game Awards.
The Game Awards was a classic case of awesome opener, awesome closer. Everything in the middle sucked.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with talking about that amazing opening, Dean,
Okay.
for Death Stranding. Mm-hmm. You loved that, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, so I was very surprised. I didn't think we were getting anything from Death Stranding for quite a while, considering this game is probably years away at this point. I feel like he's just shooting scenes and forming his cast.
Right, that's it. I don't think he's actually working on the game. I think he's just hyping up his ideas.
Yeah. So as Derek called in his predictions, this was Kojima showing off, oh, I got this person in the game. Oh, I got this person in the game. But still, the beginning, when show off Del Toro there, I know personally, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, so you saw
they
the
got
face.
Norman Reedus, and then I remember when they first showed that, I was like, I wonder if they're going to get Del Toro too. I was like, nah, they couldn't. And
Right.
they did. Like, they freaking got Del Toro. Although we don't
He's
quite
not confirmed
know
on what he's doing. Is he just consulting behind the scenes? Is he allowed to? You know, like what is the obligations or what restrictions does he have?
But the second reveal was almost even more surprising, considering kind of the clouts that this celebrity has. I mean, this
Right
is
now, at least.
Yeah, this is a freaking.
Well, Norman Reedus had the same effect.
Yeah, Norman Reedus, though. I mean, really, he's a TV show star.
think
He's
so?
been in some
Yeah.
movies, but Mads Mikkelsen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was just freaking in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He's Hannibal Lecter. Like,
Gonna be in that Star Wars.
I thought this was even more surprising actually
Their Star
than
Wars.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
And if he's the villain, then oh man,
Dean said he's gonna be in that Star Wars.
he is in Star Wars. That's very true. And that's
can't.
that's what I mean, man. This guy has a lot behind his name, especially recently. Now, I'm really curious, Dean. What do you think is happening in this trailer?
Nothing. I don't know. I really don't know, dude. I am fully prepared for the backlash. I can't bring myself to give a shit about this yet.
I get it. No, I get it, dude. I totally get
You know
it.
what I mean? Like,
I'm on your boat, Dean.
he's just like, I was telling Andrew, he's very coming off to me as like, look how weird and out there I'm being. Isn't this crazy, guys? This is what you want from me. And look at it. Look, it's so weird. It's going to be awesome. You just trust me. It's fucking like, and everyone's totally fucking like eating it up. And like, they're so sold on. I'm just not that guy. I'm like, this seems like you need to remove your head from your ass and just make a good game and pull it back a little bit. I say because I don't fucking know what the game is. You
Here's
know
the
what I mean?
thing.
So we'll
I mean,
see.
this is really no more pretentious or up his own ass than Metal Gear. So, I mean, this is what we've all expected from Kojima.
It seems a little bit
It's-
more.
It's not. I promise you it's
are
not.
you? So let me ask you though. Outside of when you started hanging out with us, and doing the show and everything like that, how familiar were you with Kojima, if at all?
Not very.
Okay. This is nothing out of the ordinary for him. Like, and I've never been a huge Kojima fan. I respect his work. I respect what he's done for the community.
Yeah.
I never really played any Metal Gear style game. Drew has always hated me for that, but I never really, like seeing the weird shit that he does is always like, the fuck. But so this is nothing more than, Kojima's making something
Yeah,
else.
Andrew said some of the same thing, and that really doesn't make me feel any kind of different way about him. That makes me feel like he's just being weird because that's what people expect of him, and I don't buy that he's actually.
See, that's
that
not the
weird.
case though, because he's always been this way.
Right,
It's not what people
that's what I
expect
was
of
trying
him.
to
It's
say.
just, it's just
Right.
this is who he is. He's always been artsy, and you can call that pretentious if you want, I guess.
do. It is.
But being artsy doesn't make you pretentious.
Do you think there's any connection between the two trailers, like what we've seen in the first
100%, I
one
do.
versus this one,
It's
and
almost
then
been
we just-
confirmed at this point.
Like,
that there
well,
is.
like I'm talking about, like not obviously it's the same game, but like, do you think there's anything like because he's known for this? Do you think there's any like secrets that are in both trailers?
I
that
thought
are,
I
like-
showed you guys this already.
Oh, no, I haven't
if you
seen
line
it.
the two trailers up, like right when Guillermo del Toro twists the thing and the baby pops into it, that's the exact moment the baby disappears from Norman Reedus' arms. So that's Guillermo del Toro taking the baby from Norman Reedus' arms and putting it into the capsule.
Which combine? Okay, so all right, we'll
So
talk about this later. Yeah,
a lot of people are speculating that it is Purgatory.
Right.
Mads Mikkelsen is Death, he uses babies for life, sucks their life force out, and controls an army of the dead using that. Norman Reedus is a
Where-
father that lost his baby, or son, baby, whatever, travels into purgatory, kind of like What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, in order to rescue his child and steal it back from death.
I just have a different. I don't know. It's not that. I don't think that's art. Like that. I have a different thing in my mind, I suppose, of what is artsy rather than like the. Like dead babies and tentacles and rivers of tar. Like, that's not artsy to me. That's just being weird for the sake of being weird.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Dean, I'm in
That's
your boat.
symbolism. I mean,
agree to disagree, my friend.
yeah, I mean that's symbolism all the way. I mean, if he can back that up with symbolism that matters, then
Yeah,
it's no longer
absolutely.
just weird for the sake of being weird. That's
Sure.
the thing. Right now, you can say it's weird for the
That
sake
is
of
what
being
I'm.
weird.
That is, to be perfectly clear, that is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Just based off of what is happening.
Yeah.
Like I said, I
Question.
might wind up loving this game, or I might be totally into it. You
Right.
know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah.
Question. All of what you just said, that's not any of that's confirmed, correct?
No, it's speculation and
100% speculation.
Right.
Jack.
It's going off of-
That's why I'm more aligned with Dean currently, because right now it's just two trailers that are weird as fuck.
You got to
Yeah,
remember, there
that's the
is.
thing.
It's not just that. There is description that he's given on the game what Death Stranding actually means.
Yeah.
So there is some reason why it was. It wasn't just somebody saying, "Well, did you look at if you take line this trailer up at this point with this one?" And it's not just stuff that's gotten in the game. It's stuff that Kojima has said, and everything like that, like hints that people have given throughout. So,
So what we have here is a clear case of Kool-Aid drinkers and non-Kool-Aid drinkers.
To finish us off for the Death Stranding discussion, they also had a technical showcase, a panel, where they confirmed, and I actually expected this a little bit after seeing this most recent trailer and the technology for the motion capture and the facial motion capture, specifically that they're using Killzone's Guerrilla Games
Yeah, I did read
engine,
that.
and a little bit of a tweak on that engine, which is amazing
Perfect.
news.
Yeah.
We all know how amazing Horizon Zero Dawn looks. To put that engine in Kojima's hands, and to also know that he just went to Guerrilla Games and they're like, oh yeah, sure, take it.
Yeah.
Like that's what's great about working with Sony and working with PlayStation and getting
Search
yourself
for
in.
technology led him to Horizon.
Yeah. To get in with that though, like that's I'm sure one of the selling points for Kojima
Totally.
going with PlayStation, to know that he can go to Naughty Dog, he can go to Guerrilla Games, and they're all together, they're all working together trying to better each other. They're not just competing with each other, they're also trying to improve each other. I think that was one of the big
PlayStation.
reasons they were.
I don't know if
got
you guys
together.
know that about me.
What?
What?
I love PlayStation. I love Sony. I love them.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all pretty much on board with that.
Okay.
Job32X says Kojima did an interview at the conference confirming some information. Yeah, they had that panel and he did confirm some information.
I will
on
say the
story.
baby thing, fucking cool. That the trailers lined up just
Yeah.
just because I know from editing videos how fucking annoying that had to be
Yeah.
to line up. That's cool.
That is cool. Before we go into the other announcements, let's go through the awards real quick. Game of the Year went to Overwatch. Not too
Game.
much of a surprise.
Yodio.
Best Game Direction, of course, went to Blizzard for Overwatch. Best Narrative went to Uncharted 4: Thief's End.
Oh,
Art-
wait. On that one, I just want to say I think it's fucking awesome that Neil and Nolan and everybody that accepted awards on Uncharted 4's behalf threw out Amy Henig's name. That was my favorite
Yeah,
part
that
of
was
those
classy,
Yeah.
very classy.
There
I
was a
thought
lot of that
fucking
this year.
Really cool. I
As
thought that
you
was
said,
awesome.
Dean, that's maybe a part of Greg Miller's
I
speech
really think
last
he
year.
really fucking shook them up a little bit.
Yeah. It's like,
'Cause I
why
was-
are we not thanking
Yeah.
the developers who make these games?
Every person this year was bringing it up. Nobody the years before was until Greg Miller did it.
Yeah.
Gotta give it to him, man.
Best art direction went to Inside, totally deserved. Best music went to Doom. It has some really cool music. They played
Yeah.
some music
Oh,
during
Doom
the
has
show,
great
and that was
soundtrack.
actually the only good musical performance.
I agree.
Oh my God.
Best performance went to Nolan North as Nathan Drake, and he did a really passionate speech, kind of going against the strike.
Yeah.
Which I respect because you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure he riled up some of his colleagues there and
Absolutely.
pissed some of
I
them
thought it
off.
was awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure. I thought it was
I thought
too,
it was
but I'm sure he
awesome.
pissed off some people that
Just
he
a
knows.
simple, and even so, even though it pissed so many people off, if it did, the way he phrased it was super classy. And
Oh,
he was
yeah.
like, he goes, "You want to keep making games? I'll be there for you." And I was like,
He even got a little
"That's fucking
emotional.
awesome, dude."
Towards
Yeah.
the end, that was really, really well
A
done.
veteran of that world too. Like that's awesome.
He's a
Speaking
good
of
guy.
emotional,
Oh God.
that Dragon Cancer one
Oh my
for
gosh.
Game.
You and
did
Kristen
you guys
teared
see?
up.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both started crying.
That was
I
so-
fell
It took
apart.
Kristen.
That
I
was
was talking to her.
really tough.
She's like, I can't. Like we were talking about it.
I'm a
She was so upset,
total. That's not the word. Is not sap. I'm very weak.
especially now that you have a kid, right?
Not even just that, but if I see a man cry,
Yeah.
another man crying, just and I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that, but it does a lot more to me than seeing a woman cry. Seeing a man cry just messes me up for some reason.
You seem to be okay with.
I was about to say, what about with Greg?
Just getting a thick skin out, I guess.
I guess so. Best indie game goes to Inside, totally deserved. Best mobile went to Pokemon Go, VR game Res Infinite, action game Doom, action adventure Dishonored 2. Kind of surprised it didn't go to Uncharted there. Best RPG went to The Witcher Wild Hunt, which is Blood and Wine, a DLC pack. Won Best RPG of the Year.
Yeah.
Best fighting game went to Street Fighter V. Best strategy game went to Civilization 6. Family game Pokemon Go, sports Forza Horizon 3, multiplayer Overwatch. Anticipated game went to Breath of the Wild. Remember I called that, Dean? I told you I was going to go to that.
You did.
Esports Overwatch, esports team Cloud9, esports player Marcelo, David, and trending gamer went to Boogie this year. Boogie 298.
Way to go, Boogie.
I would have liked to see Danny O'Dwyer get that, but
Yes.
Boogie is really cool as well.
Agreed.
As for all of the premieres, to go through them, we saw Death Stranding. We
Let's
also
talk
saw
a little bit about Death Stranding for a little bit. Let's talk about that trailer. To a full-blown conversation.
You suck. Guardians of the Galaxy. Kind of sucked that it was just a little teaser, but that was ruined by the fact that it was leaked.
Awesome that it exists.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm
Been
super
wondering what
excited
that
about
goddamn. Me and Greg have been talking about that
For
goddamn
so long.
unknown
Marvel,
project for a
Telltale,
long
yeah.
time on Power Up.
It's a good fit.
So excited.
There was a game called Dauntless that looks like a MOBA, but it was a
Over it.
pre-rendered trailer, so there's not too much to go off of there unless they confirm more later. Lawbreakers from Cliffy B, I thought actually looked pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it's in.
I thought that looked pretty awesome.
I
It
agree
kind of
with you.
had like a little bit of Titanfall vibes, but more about like jetpacks and just like crazy, stuff going on there. Prey, which looks completely different.
Yeah.
It's like System Shock.
I was watching you guys during that, and I heard you say this looks totally. I was like, it does. It looked totally different than it did.
Nothing like that original trailer.
Yeah.
Looks
No,
like
no.
Bioshock meets Dishonored
Yeah.
meets System Shock. Like, yeah, it's completely different. Halo Wars 2. This wasn't like an announcement, right? We already knew Halo Wars 2
Yeah, we already
was
knew.
coming.
We got that last year.
It was just a new trailer.
Yeah.
Okay. Shovel Knights. Getting
That
a
was
new
really cool. I like
game
that.
called Spectre of Torment. Correct me if
It's-
I'm wrong on this.
It's a prequel
Yes.
with the enemy from Shovel Knight, so which is
Right.
why it went back to 8-bit style.
That's what I was going to ask. So
Yes.
it went back to 8-bit,
They
right?
did that intention. It was again an artistic decision,
Yes.
so they went back to 8-bit to go, as a prequel.
This
And
is Lawbreakers on screen right now.
Is that a new?
It's a free
full
DLC.
DLC.
I
That's
think.
what it was.
From what I understand, it's free.
Walking Dead Season 3. Greg, what did you think of that?
Fucking incredible. I'm so fucking excited for this game, and I think what they're going to end up doing is use Clementine. They said you can play as both of them,
Right.
but I think it's going to be like a Tales from the Borderlands situation. So you're swapping back and forth between them in each episode rather than because a bunch of people are speculating whether or not you're going to play as like Javier for like episode 1, and that's why they're releasing 2 episodes, is then you'll only get control of Clementine for 1 episode and control of him for 1 episode. But I think it's going to be a back and forth thing, and I really like the dynamic that it's kind of like he's not a kid. Now they're both the same age of people. He lost everything, she lost everything, but he's so freshly lost everything. Meanwhile, she's like, it's the fucking shit that happens, bro, as she's loading a shotgun. I'm like, Clementine is one of the most changed characters I've ever seen in a video game.
I'm a little
not gonna-
confused by it, though. Like, so he's just now figuring out that the zombie
die.
apocalypse happened?
Right?
No. So that whole first scenario they confirmed is a flashback to when he lost his family.
Okay.
Okay.
But
makes
he when he lost his family, like everything that he went through was so traumatic, he never really found like a place and a home for him to get into. So they said that his story is going to be told of what he went through in the upcoming years and how he meets Clementine. But like he lost everything and never dealt with that, so I think that's why they showed the flashback sequence, and I think that's going to play a big part because I think he's still attached to his family, whereas Clementine is so detached from her family because she only knew them until she was 8 years old. Meanwhile,
Right.
he was however old.
How do you feel about this whole splitting up the first episode into 2 parts, releasing the same day,
Kinda weird.
but the whole season is still 5 episodes? Does that mean that they
think-
always planned on this? Because every
think it
Telltale
makes sense.
season of Walking Dead has been 5 episodes, but when they announced, oh, we're splitting up the first episode into 2 parts, I was like, oh, then this season's going to be 6 episodes, right?
Nope.
Then it's like,
I-
nope, it's still 5 episodes.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for them. They've always done 5 episodes, so I think that's okay. I think they were originally planning on releasing the episode earlier than they thought, so I think they were going to have November and December, but because nobody knew what the fuck was going on with that game when its original release date that was announced, nobody knew what was happening. I think that's why they ended up pushing
But
it.
why-
But I think they ended up finishing both.
Bother splitting it at all.
Or why bother calling it this part 1, this part 2? Why not just call it a different title so that it's episode 1, episode 2, episode 3?
Is it supposed to happen at the same time?
Either way, does it really matter? You know,
Yeah, because it's the same time frame. So
it's
that would
just
kinda
confusing. It's so
like
confusing.
you could do like this, and then like I guess alter the title, like just do it reverse or something like that.
I don't.
know.
For me, it makes me feel like they took something away. It makes me feel like I'm getting 4 episodes in The Walking Dead season 3, but to trick us, they're splitting the first episode into 2 parts.
I don't see that at all.
I don't necessarily feel that.
I
You're still getting an
played The
additional
Walking
4
Dead.
episodes after this 2-part.
Nope.
No,
you only get
no,
3
no.
episodes after that.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
not a 2-parter. It's a full 2 episodes. Like you get 2 full 3-hour.
Yeah, but they literally started the presentation by
They said
saying
it's
episode
part
1
1
was
and
so
2.
big, we had to split it into 2 parts. So that when they said that, I was like, oh, okay, so it's going to be episode 1, part 1, episode 1, part 2, then you're going to get 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought. No,
Not
that's
the
not the
case.
case.
Yeah,
you
I
get
don't
episode
like
1, part 1, episode 1, part 2, and then you get 2, 3, 4.
I'm with Andrew on that then. I don't like that at all. No.
No,
I don't
because
want,
I
if you
see
want
it
to
as
do 2
episodes
parts,
1
that's
through
fine,
5.
but I want the other 4 episodes.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a 5-episode season.
Yeah.
No. I
Not a
read it
4-episode
as
season.
I read it as it's episode 1 and 2 are releasing first, but he's saying it was so big and whatever happens in episode 1 is so reliant on we couldn't just leave you with that, so we have to give you episode 2 as well.
That's just not what he said, though.
It's not. He said that they're both episode 1.
Yeah, it's episodes. They literally have the same title. It's the New Frontier. I think it's called the New Frontier, part 1 and part 2.
If he wanted it to be, if they wanted to do, look, we're going to give you episode 1 and 2 in the same day to launch the season. Phrase it that way.
Yeah.
But he's saying,
I didn't see the announcement. I only read what was on IGN, and IGN reported that it's episode 1 and 2 are releasing in December.
No,
That's only because they split episode 1 into 2 parts, and now they're calling that episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until I play it. I mean, I always play
What's
them.
confusing to me, Greg, is that this must have been always planned as a 4-episode season. If this is the case, they planned it as a 4-episode season, and then at the last minute they're like, people are going to want a 5-episode season, so let's split the first episode into 2 parts, and we'll release it on the same day. So they're still getting they're still getting the whole package in one day.
Yeah.
But now we can say it's a 5-episode
It's a
season.
little suspect.
It's a little shady in my opinion.
I trust them, and I play The Walking Dead is the only episodic game that I get the physical disc of, and I play them all. Like I don't play that one episodically. So to me, The Walking Dead, it doesn't matter to me at all. If they did that with the series like Batman or something, where I've now been playing that episodically and waiting for the next episode to come out, I would probably feel more hurt. But Walking Dead, I've always just played in one big gameplay.
I don't know. Walking Dead right now is on my version of Dean's List. I'm so tired.
I'm ready to be
hearing
done
about
with
it.
all. I'd be cool if they did 3 seasons, ended really strong, and then move on to the next.
I was talking with Rick about it the other day. I'm tired of it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I get
about
it.
this. It's been going on for so long, and they fucking strung this. Like I don't care anymore. Give me it's just
I'm burning out on both the TV show and the video game series.
And Walking Dead in general is just done. Like to me, it's I haven't watched. I watched the first episode of the season. I haven't touched the rest of the season because I don't give 2 fucks. I'm done.
I think
have no
for this,
desire.
I think a trilogy of seasons is good.
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully this is the last season.
I would like to see that. Yeah, and then focus on whatever else you got. Get that fucking. Where is Wolf Among Us, dude?
Where's Tales from the
Everybody
Borderlands?
wants it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like what is happening
Right.
there? But Batman.
No, give us Michonne.
Batman
More
is the
Michonne.
first thing that was like, we're gonna do this, and this is happening in this time frame, and they actually fucking nailed it. And it seems like if everything else is par for the course, then that'll be done this month. The last episode should be out this month, the finale, and it's fucking great.
And I'm also with Net Guy. I wasn't that attached to what they showed. Like, it's partially because I don't know who Javier is, but
Right.
I wasn't pulled in by that. Personally,
I wasn't either, but I have faith that I will be. I'm with you on the episode thing, though. I'm not down with
The thing is, I'm like Greg. I wait until the whole season's out anyway. So by that point, I'll be able to hear if it's actually a good season or not, and then I can decide if I want to play it.
I did. Because I jumped on late, so I played seasons 1 and 2 all the way through as a whole. This will be the first one where I don't. I'll probably just get them episodically.
Somebody also said in the chat room before, I forgot who said it, but somebody said Clementine is Clementine is Ellie. And I just want to point out to you people, I love them both very dearly as characters, but Ellie is way better of a character than Clementine, in my opinion.
I agree. 100%.
I agree with that
I
as
don't
well.
even think it's a concept.
Ellie is my favorite character of all of video games. Clementine's up there as one of my favorites, but Ellie is
This
hands
is way
down
too
a
much
way better
Walking Dead
character.
fucking conversation.
I don't like.
I think that's actually about it. there was the Mass Effect stuff at the very end, which we have. Actually, this is it here.
We got 2 new characters from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
We got a female Turian, which is we very rarely have seen in the whole universe, and then we also got Drax, our Krogan member of the team, which is awesome. We got some gameplay footage, which was sick, and they also released an article talking about the romantic relationships, and they said it's not going to be so cookie cutter dry now to where you can, lead up, and then fuck somebody right before the conclusion of the game. It's like, if you want to fuck somebody in the beginning of the game, hop into bed with them. If you want to take somebody on dates for the whole game and then have sex with them at the end, you can do that too. So I love the way that they're doing the different dynamics of relationships and friendships, and this game excites the fuck out of me, dude. I'm so excited.
The gameplay
for
looks
this game.
fucking pretty cool, dude.
Yeah,
It looks
I
exactly
will say
like-
it did look cool.
It looks like the multiplayer from 3, and that's what they said in the Game
Yeah,
Informer
it's largely
reveal.
inspired by that.
And the way they
Yeah,
talked
which
about
is
like
so
traveling
good.
planets, even you said this, Mike. It's like what No Man's Sky should have been.
Yeah.
You know, to actually have story to these planets.
They were
and-
close, dude. You'll see whenever you go to them. They were
Mass Effect
real
1
close
did
with
that,
that.
yeah.
Like you,
Yeah.
there. I don't know which one it was. I think 1, right, Greg, where you actually drop on planets and like
Yeah.
you search for resources, and there's some planets you have to go to and like monitor threats, and you get out of the Mako and you have to go and like figure out what's going on, and then it's just like a totally different. It's not part of the main story. It's a totally different planet, totally
Yeah.
different thing. It's
Yeah,
so they were really close with that.
The original Mass Effect had that, where you were to drop on planets, but everyone's biggest complaint was like, you gave us 40 billion different planets to drop on, but there was nothing to do there except for collect resources.
and the
so they
Mako
took
is
that
terrible to
feedback and they're
control.
making it like each planet has a story, each planet has their own race. I'm so fucking excited for this game.
Me too, man.
Looked really cool.
I had a little worry going on, but I saw the gameplay footage when I woke up the next day, and I was like, "Yep, this is it."
And that was the closer for the show, and that's what I meant by it. It was a strong start and a strong close, but there wasn't too much great in the middle. We're going to move on to PSX. Greg, would you mind putting out a tweet, since we're a little behind? Let people know that we're about to start the PSX discussion. All right, so this was a great show. It was a really great show. Let's just go
Holy
through...
shit.
Sorry, Greg, what was that?
I said, holy shit, was it a good show?
Yeah, it really was. Starting off with a bang, really great moment. We have this masked woman, this character going through. I don't know which location it was, but
I like to think of her as
India, I believe.
masked goddess, if you will.
very
Probably
attractive.
one of the best things that's going to happen to Uncharted series, at all.
So she's going through this building, and there's more like fisticuffs going on, which I thought was pretty cool. A little bit of stealth going on there. She gets to the rooftop. We see that Nadine is there. And then, of course, we hear Chloe's voice, pulls off the hood
Like an angel.
like an angel, and shows herself off. So when do we think this takes place? Do we know?
It's a
It's after
prequel.
the
It is a
events
prequel,
of
that's what I
Uncharted
thought.
4.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
It's after the events of Uncharted 4, it said.
No.
I thought I heard that it was a prequel as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
A prequel?
Yeah. The
you
Naughty
guys
Dog
positive?
panel. Neil said this is a prequel to Uncharted 4.
Oh, that kind of makes me a little upset.
Do you think that they always planned on it being Chloe? Because it seems a little odd to me that Uncharted 4 had no Chloe whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah, I do think that was planned on.
I think so too.
Do you think that she dies?
No.
No, I don't
And that's
think
why
so.
she wasn't in Uncharted 4 at all?
That'd be crazy. I think that would make Greg very happy. But no, I don't think she
I
will die.
can't.
Dude,
I'll
no,
go with it.
stop. Don't even, because you tried to do this before when we were in commercial. You cannot say at this point you don't hate Chloe. The level of disgust that you have for this person has been shown time and time again. People here know it. They can tell you 100%. You have said so many times how much you despise this person, this character.
I despise her character because we've never gotten anything from her except for her sloozy, minxy, fucking act
That's
that she
never what you
portrays.
said. You said she's the worst. She doesn't add anything to the story.
That's
She's
not necessarily
Yeah.
true. Anyway, she comes back and helps.
Wait, what?
She wasn't slutty or minxy. That was when Drake and Elena got back together.
Really don't want to get into this at
Yeah,
all.
that's a good point as well.
It's 12:34, like, and we still have a lot to
Fair
go through here.
Fair
But I will say, I'm super excited. Left Behind proved to me that Naughty Dog can do amazing standalone single-player DLC.
It looked great.
So, no, visually it looks spectacular. That's what the first thing that tipped us off. We're like, this
I
looks
have the
really
article
good. This
right
has got to be
here.
Naughty Dog.
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, The Lost Legacy will take place after it.
Don't
Where are you
know
reading
if
that
Maybe
at?
a little before and a little after?
It says the Lost Legacy will be set in India, and as such, writer Josh Scher said the studio took a deep dive into Hinduism and the mythology tied to the region when crafting the story. Game director Kurt Marganu also chimed in to note the setting shown in the reveal footage won't be the only locale Chloe will explore. She'll be all over the place, and the story takes place after Drake's adventures in Uncharted 4. While it'll be totally different from Drake's adventures, it will still fit in with the context of the Uncharted universe. This was all confirmed today at the panel with Neil Druckmann.
I don't know what to tell you. I watched the panel live, and they said prequel. They said the word prequel. So maybe there's just miscommunication or something. I don't know.
I guess. Well, I want it to be I hope it's a sequel because I want it to be.
Why does it matter to you?
Because if it's a prequel, it just doesn't make sense why Chloe wouldn't be involved in the game. I feel like something.
Well, it depends on how it ends.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Maybe it would make perfect sense.
I don't care one way or the other. Honestly, I'm excited to play it regardless of where it's.
It looks fucking awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to play this game.
Maybe it'll actually make you enjoy Chloe.
The only reason
Both
nobody chime in,
sexually.
nobody say anything. Are you ready for my statement? The reason why I hate Chloe as a character is because she's only portrayed as a minx and as a slut to Drake's story. She has no quality or effort, and when she portrays herself as a decent person, she tells Drake to go after Elena. That's the one scene she has.
We
she
need to get better at just understanding that we're all different and we disagree on things, because we've revisited this specifically like 3,000 times.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm not going to comment on that. All I'm going to say is I disagree. Let's talk about what came after that. Dean, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was announced, showing off. You got Ryu in there. You had Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Mega Man. Yeah.
Ooh, Doctor. Am I excited?
Were you happy with the characters they decided to show?
Yeah, I think it made sense. Yeah, definitely for the Capcom characters, for the Marvel characters, I think it was important to show that you're getting the big guys back
expanded
as
universe,
well
right.
as the new guys too
You're
are
right.
coming in. Definitely can tell that the rumors are definitely true. You can see the more cinematic influenced look for
Yeah.
the Marvel guys, which I'm so down for. 2v2, not 3v3, which is a new thing. Mike's down on it. I'm cool with it. Don't give me the same thing over and over again. I want.
No, I
something
get
new.
it. To me, I feel like that's a staple that I know, or not know. I have a
Here's
feeling
the
why
thing.
they did this, and I feel like it's going to be a smaller roster.
No,
than every other
the
year.
difference is it's infinite. I think it's intentional that this is not Marvel vs. Capcom 4. They did the platform thing with Street Fighter, didn't work out. They learned their lessons. Now I think they're going to go back with Marvel vs. Capcom. This is going to be your fighter for Marvel vs. Capcom. And they're just going to keep, new characters. You pay this, new costumes, pay this, new game
Right.
modes, pay this. So I think the 3v3 is going to get added.
Maybe as an optional.
Yeah, because there's going to be a whole bunch of multiplayer stuff. They
that
said
makes sense. I like that.
accessible single player. They said a whole bunch of single player stuff to do, a whole bunch of multiplayer stuff, a whole bunch more characters coming. I'm fucking.
And I mean, the
super
Infinite
excited.
has to, I guess, relate to the Infinity Stone.
Oh yeah, Infinity Stones. That's like a big new thing. You control Infinity Stones in
Yeah.
this. As like, I don't know what they
Time
do exactly.
and all that, yeah.
But
Well, when Captain
crazy.
Marvel used it, it looked like it was like a rewind kind of.
Right.
So makes
Yeah.
sense, right? Who do you think is the next batch of characters revealed?
that's a tough call.
Spider-Man?
I don't know. Spider-Man will be in there.
Yeah,
they'll
Spider-Man
definitely
has to
do.
be
They'll
in there.
definitely do all. They'll do Thor. They'll do Spider-Man.
I think
do
they'll actually even
Guardians.
go as far as to do Doctor Strange. I
Doctor
think that would
Strange
be
was
a very.
in the third one as DLC.
Oh, that's right. I didn't. stick with
Speaking
that
of
one.
that, that wasn't the end of the announcement. They also confirmed that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate, right?
Yep.
Released that day.
Yep.
And did it?
Yeah, that
25
night,
bucks.
25 bucks.
Yeah,
25 bucks.
I bought it, downloaded it. I haven't played it yet, but it's said to run 1080p, 60 frames per second. All
Thank
the
you.
DLC characters and costumes and everything. I'm fucking super excited just for that alone.
Yeah, I never got to play any of the DLC stuff, like any
neither.
DLC characters.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
had already gotten something else.
It's a bunch, dude. Iron Fist, Doctor Strange, Rocket,
I know they put
Hawkeye.
a shit ton of people in there. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
We just got a resub by Big Gamer 999. Thank you so much. Let's give you a wheel
Thank you
spin
very
real
much.
quick.
Prize wheel.
Prize wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Come on down.
Ant-Man is a shoe-in for the new one.
Oh yeah.
What do we got? What do we got? Dean. 100 XP to the entire room,
Way to
please.
go, Room.
Way to go, room.
Sorry, freak. Deadpool was in the last one,
Yes, he was. And he probably will
and
not
he was
be
in the
this
standard version.
To go through some rapid fire here on some ones that don't really need discussion. You had a Wipeout Omega collection that included 2048, it included Fury, and I guess the original all remastered. Pretty cool. Let It Die from Suda51 is now free on PlayStation 4. That looks like a super freaking weird game. I have no idea.
Yeah, I didn't get it yet. I'm going to probably.
On the screen right now, we got the Crash Bandicoot footage for the first time. It's called, well it's now.
You're
never
welcome.
mind. We were on Crash Bandicoot at one point, I think.
Crash looks awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, and it is exactly, at least what I expected. Just
it's
straight
exactly what I
remake.
wanted out of it.
It's
Yeah.
no different
They just
whatsoever.
basically said, let's
Looks
just
great,
redo this from
dude.
scratch, and it's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted.
Does
and
everyone
needed.
like Crash? Do we all like Crash?
I do.
Yeah.
Greg?
Back
Is
in the
it-
day, at
Greg,
least.
is that
Yeah,
enough
so
story for
excited.
you?
I'm so excited for Crash. I love Crash Bandicoot.
Okay.
I'm glad. So there we go. We have the
Good.
game that we all are on board with.
There you go.
I enjoyed Ratchet and Clank.
Don't
Mike,
pay
you like
attention.
to
though.
get
He's
on me
trying
for
to
a
get
bunch
this
of
out of you,
shit.
Greg. You understand that, right? He wants this.
Don't feed the trolls, Greg. It was on screen a little earlier, but we got a new Horizon Zero Dawn trailer. Still looks phenomenal. I'm glad they didn't show gameplay. We
Yeah,
don't need
I was
gameplay.
very uncomfortable when I first saw that it was going to be. I was like, come on, don't show anything else.
Yeah.
And then I'm glad it was all cinematic, so we're good.
Yeah, just a little trailer. That was cool. Greg, Resident Evil 7 final demo available now. Did you try it out?
I didn't play the demo yet, but I watched somebody play the demo. There was like 2 secret endings that you could get out of the demo. I'm trying not to play the demos because I don't want to spoil myself in the game. I think that first one kind of left me. I want to be more shocked when I play the game for
Is
the
the
first time.
stuff in these
Yeah.
demos going to be in the game? Do you know, Greg?
The original one I know for sure is in the game.
Okay.
That whole sequence is in the game. I think they edited it a bit, but that entire sequence is in the game except for the ending. That's not how that sequence ends. This demo, I don't know if they confirmed it yet for the final game, but I'm assuming it would be if the first one, the original one, was. I'm just really excited for this game. It's different for the Resident Evil franchise, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. The tone looks really creepy, and I'm happy they're getting away from the convoluted nature of what the fuck was going on in the past games.
IGN seems to love it. From
Yeah,
what I've
it's
been seeing.
really good. A lot of
Nice.
people are saying it's scary too, which attracts me to it. But it still has all the elements there. It has your herbs. You have scary tension. You're in this old mansion. It's not related to this bio conspiracy yet that we know of. So we'll see what happens.
Nice. Knack 2 is just on screen. What?
You're
What?
welcome, everybody.
What?
You're
I mean,
welcome. Your
as I said
profit
before,
is here.
like I could have seen it happen because I imagine it's not a very expensive game, and the first one actually sold pretty well.
Yeah.
Granted, it's because it was attached as a bundle in other countries.
It was rumored a long time ago.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Like they already had.
I didn't think
you
it was
know-
going to happen, honestly.
Yeah, I was on the fence. Like I could see it, but I was like, why would they do it?
I don't
Like-
know why, but there was something I was like, I know it's coming at some point.
Like we said earlier, the previews are really positive. People
Yeah.
are saying it's working out.
At least that it's an improvement. It's definitely an improvement on the
As
original
I said
game.
in our reactions, I will buy it and play that.
It's co-op. If you guys didn't see, there's a blue neck, there's a red neck. You're working together. They've added in some new moves. They've tweaked the platforming. They've added in more puzzles. For instance, I'm reading, trying to answer a lot of the complaints that the original had. Although it did get an 8.0 at the Level Up Network. Street Fighter V announced Akuma. So they're still supporting that
this
game. That's
roster is continually getting bigger and bigger, and
Yeah.
a lot of issues are being addressed. There's still some people that don't like it. They said that they the only issues that I mean the most of the issues that they've addressed were visual stuff, certain mechanics and certain OP power moves and combo sets haven't been touched really. But I'm really mad at myself. I didn't get the game when it was on sale for like $20.
It's just kind of a bummer to me that it hasn't sold that well because they released it too early. Like if they just would have held it
if
off
they-
like
right.
6 months and tried to incorporate a lot of this stuff earlier, it would have released at a better time frame, gotten better reviews, more sales. It just I feel like they really shot themselves in
Right.
the foot on this one.
Yeah, I can agree with
But it's one of those games that has legs because of stuff like the Capcom Cup and whatnot, and people are just going to keep buying it as time moves on. So that's good. Parappa the Rapper, Loco Roco, and Patapon, Patapon, come to PS4. If they were going to do Parappa, this is what I expected. It's just a re-release of the original game in
Right.
4K.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird thing.
Oh,
Right, that was really
PS4.
weird.
Put out there.
I as much as I said before, I was like, yo, they should bring these back. I don't even know if I'm going to play this.
I won't. No,
I
no way.
probably won't buy it.
Tell you what, it's going to depend on that trophy list.
Yeah.
I'll play some Parappa for trophies,
Yeah, you would.
no doubt.
I believe that.
Let's skip a few here because I want to show what's on screen.
Yeah,
This
you
was
do.
surprising. How many freaking games does Housemarque make?
Goddamn, I
Yeah.
hope
Right?
a million
I mean,
more, Andrew.
did that team grow? in the last couple of years?
Well, they're working
Probably.
with Eugene Javits of Defender and Smash TV fame. This is called Nex Machina, coming to PS4.
This looks
and
awesome.
it's a twin-stick shooter, as you can
It
see.
looks so much like Alien. It honestly looks like the perfect culmination of Alien
Oh my
Nation
gosh.
meets Resogun. Like
This
it looks
game
like Resogun colors and everything like that with Alien Nation.
Gives me a reason
controls.
to stay alive until it comes out.
Looks really good.
It looks so fucking good.
But it makes me
Jesus,
wonder, like,
dude.
where's Matterfall?
Who cares?
And what is Matterfall?
Matterfall.
At this
when I
point-
saw Matterfall, I was like, all right, I'm sure it'll be good. It's Housemarque. I love Housemarque. That's what I wanted from Housemarque.
Yeah.
This is it. Fuck Matterfall.
I'm sure Matterfall will be really good as
It
well
probably
because
will.
it's
I'll probably
Housemarque.
play
I
the
mean,
shit out of that as well. But
Yeah.
this looks like up my. I fucking love twin stick shooters, man.
I skipped over Ni no Kuni, which got a new trailer.
So
Very excited
good.
to see more than that.
Still visually looks
That was a
spectacular.
great trailer.
I was a little surprised though that it didn't show off any of the monster catching and
haven't-
monster
right,
combat. It looks more action based than the previous Ni no Kuni, which isn't a bad thing. I'm open for that. Oh, actually, here it is on screen. Good timing. Yeah, so it looks more action based, less turn based RPG. But you know, I would be cool with them kind of reinventing it with each game. I do think that it should have some remnant of the monster catching
I
in this. I hope
agree.
they don't get rid of that entirely.
If they got
I agree.
rid of that, actually, it drops my interest in it a little bit. 'Cause
Yeah.
I did like that whole aspect of it. Like that was really cool to me.
Every once in a while, I see someone trying to make the Crash Bandicoot masks noise.
Urba.
Every once in a while, I see a different person that pops up.
It looks like it still has the overworld I was just saying, which is perfect.
I'm so excited for Ni no Kuni too.
Like this is a classic Japanese RPG. That's what I always said last generation because I felt like they were few and far between as far as ones that were typically localized for America. You had a lot of ones that stayed in Japan that weren't localized, but you know it was one of the few because Final Fantasy 13 went so drastically different than
It
what I
was
was used
weird,
to.
yeah.
Ni no Kuni was like the saving grace of last generation for me as
Yeah.
far as Japanese RPG goes.
It was awesome too because the reason of how the whole game starts was actually so sad and so deep. The story in the game was so good. I love the original.
Well, this
Ni no
one I
Kuni
think
now.
is going to be very similar of a
I would
emotional,
imagine. Yeah.
emotional impact. I think is going to be in this one. So
Yeah, that's
I don't know,
kind of
so-
a staple of Studio Ghibli, who of course is collaborating with Level 5 on this game. So on these games in this series. Did you know the Studio Ghibli is the one that does like Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke? Okay, I wasn't sure if you knew that. All right, next up, Yakuza 6, Kiwami, Danganronpa, bunch of games coming to the West. Gio Corsi came out on stage as usual, building the list thing. Some
many
games
Vita
actually
games?
coming to Vita. Yeah,
how many video games, Dean? Dean,
I think actually
the prophesizer.
it was 5 video
Was it
games,
5?
actually.
I have 4.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. But then I was listening to Kind of Funny's reaction today, and they said 5. But maybe they were wrong and we were right. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with we were right.
Dreadnought we skipped over earlier. It's been really popular on PC. I know nothing about it personally, but I know a lot of people are excited that it's coming to PS4, so good for you people. You can play as Raven in Gravity Rush 2 DLC. I found this odd because the game's not even out yet, and they're already announcing DLC for it, but the game was delayed, so maybe that's why.
Right.
Gravity
They probably
Rush
had
is
this
pretty
done.
good. Well, the DLC that they announced is going to be free for people because
Exactly.
of the delay, so that's why I think they did that
So
announcement.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with free DLC.
It looks cool.
Nier Automata got a release date
Yes.
of March 7th of next year. That
looks
game
cool,
looks
man.
really cool. I know the first one has a cult following, but
did-
overall
it
it didn't
did.
review very well.
Yeah.
I
So
wanted
hopefully
to
this
play
one
the.
can improve
Did
upon that.
anybody play the first one? I always wanted to, and I never
I
did.
always wanted to as well.
I did for a short time. I liked it, which is weird for me to say because it's not normally down my, it's not my style. But I liked it a lot, so I'm excited for this one. I'll actually go full force into it.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Let's search for the Last of Us trailer since we're going to close off on that. Last Guardian got a new trailer. Still
And
looks phenomenal.
that was actually a little surprising because I didn't know there were other people involved besides just the boy and the,
Yeah, right.
the dog, cat dog.
Cat Dog.
Can we just watch that trailer?
Oh, here's Cat Crash. It was later on. Let me put it up on the big screen so you guys can see Crash in all its glory.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, they stuck true.
Honestly, I'm getting this. Whatever it
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out.
I'm gonna go through all 3 of
absolutely.
these
I'm
bad boys.
hoping Danny is gonna want to play this because she's getting
There's
more
not a
and more
fucking
into it.
platinum
Oh my god, that'd
for
be
at
terrible.
least this whole collection.
Right. Well, I'm hoping it's actually individualized.
It won't be. It won't be. I know.
Well,
I know them like a fucking
What
book.
sucks about it is that Crash Warped, the third one, has a lot of fucking content to
Yeah,
it.
there's a ton of levels.
So it's there, and there's a lot to do in it.
I
so.
have been on the top of Trophy Mountain, and I know all their tricks at this point.
Trophy.
There's no way each one of
No.
those games gets a platinum. if they don't do a platinum for the whole collection, I will be very annoyed.
I agree.
Yeah,
with
that would be.
And then I will proceed.
I would
getting
be
the rest of the
surprised.
trophies,
It wouldn't
'cause I'm an
be
asshole.
beyond reason, but I would be very surprised.
I would be surprised too. That seems like a must.
What do you guys think they
what
price it
surprised
at?
me?
$40.
For the, yeah, I was thinking $40 for the whole
It's gonna
collection.
stick with that. I think that Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank style price
Yeah.
point.
They would be smart to do that for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
I'm excited for that
Think
one.
we get a physical release? Just
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I hope so.
I mean,
want
there's
that.
clearly more people interested in this than I even thought.
I wonder
like
if
when
there's
we
more
did our
people than they
reactions.
thought.
Remember, we were like, "Should we do Crash Bandicoot?" It's like, yeah, okay, let's do Crash Bandicoot.
And then-
It's got like
I think it's
the
the
third
third.
most
Yeah,
viewed.
I think it's because it's. I mean, not. I think it's Last of Us, Uncharted, Crash Bandicoot, and
Yeah.
then Marvel vs. Capcom is the lowest.
Yeah, Crash has like 10,000 views on our YouTube. I was
Yeah.
very surprised at that.
Me too.
So there's people that want it. People are
Oh yeah,
excited for
$40
it.
pre-order.
Oh, there you go.
For a Crash?
Yeah, done.
Yeah, I'm in.
See,
Say we're so smart.
yep.
All right, let's close
we
off
get these things.
PlayStation experience with the big one.
Yeah.
So you guys should watch our reaction first of all. It's on our
Oh my
YouTube
god!
to see the
Can we
live
watch
reaction.
that?
I'd rather not, just because I don't want this to get copyright claimed, and that
Yeah.
got copyright claimed. So
Did it? Okay.
yeah, I'd rather keep it on the small screen and hope that this doesn't get copyright
God, your
claimed.
faces were perfect.
So I skipped the beginning just to keep it shorter, but right when the trees show up, like, am I the only one that was like, holy shit?
You were, because I was like, where the fuck are they going? And you said you said that they're like, there's no way, and I'm like, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like trying to think. All right, I need to, because I always
Yeah.
I want to be a step ahead. You know, so I'm like, where the fuck are they going to go? Because it's not going to be whatever he thinks it is. You know, it's not going to be fucking Last of Us. I'm like, what
I
the
thought
fuck?
I thought Days Gone originally until
That's
saw
where I
the-
was going, and I
the
was
firefly
like,
symbol, and then
right,
I was
but the
like,
way he
holy
said it,
shit.
but he said brand new, you know, or like never
Early in
or something
development, new engine,
right?
yeah,
something like that. So
I
he
thought
was
God of
into
War
something.
for some reason when I saw
Really?
when I saw the forest. Yeah.
See, I did it because I saw the car. Well, when you saw the forest, yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah, before
It
the
wasn't.
car.
It was more than just the trees.
It was the whole
It was
environment
just
and the lighting,
the
and
atmosphere of
yeah.
it, the lighting, the music, like the dong. And that was the thing. If you like watch the reaction, like the first one shows up, and I'm like, "There's no way this is what I'm thinking it is."
No.
Then it does a back out, and I was like, "There's no way." Then it does a back out, and I was like, "Dude, why does this look like The Last of Us?" Back out, dude, why does this look like The Last of Us?
It's-
And then
like I
the
said,
firefly symbol shows up,
The
and we both look at
reaction
each other.
is
Like,
fucking spot on. But yeah, it took me. I mean, it took me just as Just
Yes, we did. We saw
surprised.
the montage. That was really
Yeah, it was
cool.
really
I liked
cool.
This morning.
But
Can
yeah,
I be real with
overall-
you guys? Can I get serious?
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Lay it
I
down.
cried when I watched the trailer for the
Of
first
course you
time,
did.
just out of pure excitement.
Yeah.
Ellie is a character in video games that is literally she's my favorite character in all video games. I just relate to her so much, and I have no idea why I do. I feel like I just love her. She's the epitome of everything I've ever wanted out of a video game character, and she's the character that I show my friends all the time. Like, when people are like, "Why do you love video games so much?" I show them the $500 statue I bought, and they're like, "You spent $500 on a statue of these two people?" I'm like, "You have to watch this one scene." And every time I show them that bedroom scene, and people are like, "Holy shit! Like, this is a video game," and people are always astonished. This trailer gave me. I'm so happy. One, they went with Joel and Ellie again. They had to. If they didn't, I would have been a little upset. And then the fact that Ellie's grown up now, she's got the tattoos. I'm theorizing what the fuck the story's going to be, and I needed Joel to be back with her. And they confirmed that she's the playable main character.
Yeah, she's 19
It's just
years old
so
now.
fun.
First of all, when you guys saw the hand and the tattoo, I feel like it was a little bit of a red herring the way they
Yeah,
like,
they made-
it made it look like a man.
Yeah, I
didn't
was
it?
gonna say, I'm
Like,
glad I'm not the only one. I was like, that was very, very good how they did that. It was very rough
they're so
and-
good, man. So yeah, I thought it was Ellie, but then when they show Ellie, and then you get the figure coming through the door there.
I
with
mean,
the light and
immediately
whatnot.
you had to have known that was like
Yeah.
everybody knew. Like nobody was 100% sure, obviously, but it was like that's Joel, obviously. No, do you want to get into speculation or?
Yeah, well, he's walking through this house, first of all, dead bodies everywhere. She's singing about walking through the valley of the shadow of death and how you can't always be good and all this kind of stuff. So it seems like she has killed all these people in this house, and she's now singing over their dead bodies. Blood
Which
is trickling down her
so
face.
fucking metal.
Joel walks in, says, "You really going to go through with this?" And she says, "I'm going to kill every last one of them." A lot of people speculating that Joel is already dead. She is seeing the figment of her imagination of Joel. She wants vengeance. The theme of this game is hate, as Neil Druckmann said. I'm now going to call him Punished Druckmann because Straley is no longer with him. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Yeah.
Bruce Straley is on a 1-year-long sabbatical to recover from The Last of Us and Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. Bruce Straley has always been the foil that has kept Neil Druckmann from going too dark.
Right.
I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah.
But Neil Druckmann wanted to kill Elena.
'Cause
Bruce
Jack and
Straley,
Daxter-
no, we're not killing Elena. Last of Us, I want Tess to come back and torture Joel to death. Neil? No. We're not doing that. He has always been like, I want this to be super, super dark, and Straley's been the foil to that. Are we at all concerned that he's going to take this?
I mean,
into-
it's like,
Concerned? No,
just
I'm
the
okay
direct
with it.
Quote: He was like, "This is a game about hate."
Yes.
I was like, "Shit."
Shit's about to get
It's
fucking
crazy
real.
because he compared the first one too, and he was like, as the first game was about like a love and an affection, he's like, this is the exact opposite of that. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like, so how
okay.
do you feel about that, Greg? Are you worried that Ellie is going to go down a real bad path?
I want her to though, almost. I feel like it's really cool to see. Like, on one side of things, that's why I really hate the comparison to when a lot of people say that she's like Clementine, because I feel like Clementine is somebody that became really hardened from the experiences that she was thrown into and from like being thrown into that world, and she had to get like this tough skin on her. But I think why I love Ellie so much is she's really tough and she can handle her own, but like she's still so vulnerable at the same time, and she feels so much still. She's still such a human being, and I feel like that's so rare to have in this world, especially being a kid growing up in it. One of my favorite parts of the first game was when she's talking to Sam in the room and they're like eating canned food and they're by themselves, and she says something to, or he says something to her about, do you think everyone's souls are still in the clickers' bodies? And she goes, well, no, I don't believe in any of that. And he goes, oh, like you don't believe in heaven and God and any of that? And she goes, nah. And he goes, yeah, me either. And like that's a conversation that kids are having at fucking as teenagers. Like that's crazy, just because they're in this fucking terrible world. So to see her kind of develop along that path now, and if the case is true, I saw that theory as well that Joel's dead and it's kind of like the Joker Batman situation in Arkham Knight. Like that's fucking crazy.
Naughty Dog did say that Joel is in the game as like a living character, right? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that this
He doesn't
scene
die at some
specifically
point. Right.
doesn't happen after
Right.
he's already died in the game.
Do you guys have your own theories as to what is going on?
I do think it's a little odd the way he walks through the light and that
Yeah.
they don't show his face. I do think that's a little odd if this is the way the scene is framed in the game. So,
Especially
it does
with
seem a
her-
little ethereal.
Right, especially with her, just sitting there playing guitar with all these dead bodies that, again, we're pretty sure she's killed, and him immediately knowing, just saying, you're going to go through with this. Like, there's no conversation, and that's just not, I mean, yeah, they've been, together with each other for so long, they know how each other works, but there's just something that doesn't fit the scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely different than what we're seeing. It's not everything is, what appears to our eyes.
Now, if somebody were to kill Joel, do you think it's the Fireflies came back and got rid of
That's
their
what I'm
revenge on
assuming
Joel,
is this whole story. I'm assuming that's how this starts, is that they're at the Tommy's Dam, and I'm assuming the Fireflies come back to get Ellie from Joel, and I'm assuming Joel dies, Tommy dies, and Ellie's the only one that manages to get out. So she's after all the Fireflies to kill literally
that
all
would
of
make
them.
sense the way
Can
she
you-
phrases it.
Right, and
Yeah.
especially, and that would actually lead to another thing, so I'm going to assume you're going to play as Ellie.
They already confirmed
Yeah,
it.
you already
confirmed that,
confirmed
right?
it,
Okay.
yeah.
So, yeah, Joel's in there as a living character, but he dies. Imagine later on your counterpart is Tommy. And that's your second player.
That's a
the person
possibility.
that you're working
If
along with.
Tommy's not also killed, as Greg was saying, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a possibility that everybody was killed. Maybe they just
I
take out
also-
everybody at the dam or something. And
I also had the theory that Riley, her mom, or Riley's not her mom. Is Riley her mom? What's her mom's name?
I'm drawing a
I'm
blank on
forgetting
that.
her mom's name, but she was a Firefly, and I don't know if they ever confirmed that, like how she died or whatever, or if like the Fireflies kidnapped her. So I was thinking that could be a cool story thread they could do as well, like her searching for another companion, especially her own family. And then a lot of people were saying that the jacket she's wearing looks a lot like Riley's, and that the window that's in the bedroom with the overgrown leaves is actually the window from the main title sequence of the first game, and that it's Joel's house with the overgrown stuff in it. So that she's going there in search of some answers, maybe from him, or I have no idea.
Do we think this cutscene is actually in the game?
Right. That's the other thing.
I mean, we had that Uncharted 4 reveal trailer, and although we got something similar to that in the final game, we didn't get that scene.
Right.
I thought it was really cool how that concept art that leaked of her playing guitar on the hill or on the truck or wherever she was playing. I thought that was cool that they kind of embraced that in this trailer to be like, yep, that was something that we were tossing around.
Can she also swim now?
Oh, I fucking hope so, dude.
I hope so, right?
I'm over that.
And real quick, I think we should just answer this question real quick. Do we think that Ellie knew the truth? That Joel
Yes.
lied to her? I think so. I think that she accepted that he lied and,
Yeah.
and accepted that he had good reason to lie, and she was willing to accept him as her family. at that
Mel's
point.
never played The Last of Us either.
It's crazy.
Oh,
I
come
don't
on.
understand.
And
I
I was gonna
took
say
that-
she doesn't have a PS4, but like it came out for PS3, so.
I thought she did have a PS4. No,
Well,
she
it's
doesn't.
not until the 15th.
Which
it
blows
comes.
my mind that she's not playing Final Fantasy 15.
that also blows
She's-
my mind.
Again, she's gonna get the 15th show. She'll be on the.
But she had a
stream with us.
PS3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
You gotta play The Last of Us. When you get your PS4, get The Last of Us. I'll send you my fucking copy of The Last of Us. I really don't care.
Batman,
so it's
if
like-
Ellie,
Yeah, play
if
it.
they kill
Yeah,
Ellie in this game,
whatever.
that is
Whatever.
my biggest emotional moment in video gaming. I'm
Actually,
telling you that
yeah,
right now.
Because I'll be in Cancun, so I'll
I think it's. I don't
drop
think it's
that shit in
Mexico.
box.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere south, but
Yeah, but it'd be cheaper to mail it from Mexico.
that's
That's what
true.
I'm saying.
I agree with you, though, Greg.
So
All
what,
right.
what did I say?
You were saying the most emotional part.
Oh, if they killed Ellie, I would fucking kill myself, I think, at that point.
I mean,
in time.
and I feel like
Yeah.
they feel like they have to compete with the first 10 minutes of The Last of Us 1.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
If
So
there's
it's
anything
like-
you're going to compete with that, it would be Joel dying in
Right,
the first 20
right,
minutes.
right.
That would be really emotional if they could beat the opening of The Last of Us 1 with that.
I'm just so excited, and every time I watch the trailer, I get goosebumps. I physically cried watching the trailer. I was so excited.
much. It's so much for them to live up to.
It is.
That's tough, dude. It's gotta be
They
tough.
did it
over
with
there.
a-
This
They
is
did it
not
with
coming out till
Uncharted
like
too.
2019.
Yeah, I think that's probably
Probably.
likely, yeah.
You're probably right about that.
For Sean Layden to say, like, this was really, really early in development, they're, like, just getting started on
There is
this.
a slight chance, I'm saying less than 20%, that it's in 2018.
Yeah.
My favorite was the picture Neil tweeted out with him and then Troy and Ashley in the mocap suits, and it was like, the gang's back together again. I'm like, this is awesome.
I just can't believe we live in a world right now where The Last of Us 2 has been announced.
I know.
Like,
Right?
I
Like-
didn't think it was happening for, like,
Talk
at
about
least a year.
Dude, talk about E3 level fucking
Exactly.
type of conference.
This shows that Sony wants PlayStation Experience to be their
big.
second big conference of the
If
year.
not
like, E3
eventually
and
their
this.
primary.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
Because I feel like a lot of companies, remember, like the way that E3 has been going for the past couple of years. I mean, Nintendo already pulled out. They're not what they used to be. But
Right.
remember last year? Remember how empty everybody said it was? It was jarring to them. You had certain sections that were populated, but then you had these other areas it was just like a ghost town. And E3 is not what it was. So I think, Microsoft needs to get on that fucking train too. They need to
I'm
have
sure
their
they
own
will.
big event
Guys,
ASAP.
do you want to know something really cool?
I guess.
There's potential for me to have a full-blown Ellie statue with the collector's edition of that game.
I feel like you need to start playing some of these games instead of worrying about the packages they come in.
I'm just so excited. Oh,
Might
I'm
be
so
for you.
excited. I want a fucking statue of her with the guitar. Oh, I can just see it.
All right, guys, we're going to have to wrap up here. Let's look at the most recent events. We had a host that just came in from Zell Starwing. Thank you. Thank you to the resub from Big Gamer, host from Mel. We had a sub from Net Guy, and 2 follows from Incognito Games and Harley Quinn, as well as many other
So
follows
many
tonight.
others.
We got a $25 tip from KP 2.0. A lot of support tonight. You guys are amazing, as always. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Level Up Show. We're on every week with gaming talk shows and game streams. So if you like what we did tonight at any point, hit that heart button at twitch.tv/the Level Up Show. If you want to see archives of everything we do, as well as live reactions, or at least they were live, reactions to PSX, and we also had a Death Stranding reaction for Death Stranding. I said that twice. Redundant.
Yeah.
You can check out youtube.com/the Level Up Network. Sub while you're there. Leave some feedback. Let us know what you thought of all the...
Go check out our reaction to Death Stranding. Over there.
Death Stranding. Kojima.
Kojima, everybody.
Patreon.com/Level Up Network. If you want to best support us, you can donate there monthly. Thank you to a follow from
Mr. Fire Dean Streams.
Mr. Fire Dean Streams.
Copycat.
There you go. Anything else I'm missing? You got SoundCloud, of course, if you want to listen to
SoundCloud,
podcasts.
Podcast. Death
Oh, guys,
Stranding
power
reaction
up.
on
The power up is also back tomorrow.
youtube.com/Level Up Network.
LevelUpNetwork.com/tipjar if you want to support us monetarily, of course.
You like that Death Stranding reaction? You want to tip us? That's cool.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Let's Play coming this week.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tuesday we'll be putting that up.
Power Up is back tomorrow.
It sure is. Holy shit, we have a good power up tomorrow.
It's a fucking
For real,
awesome
though.
episode.
Movies,
I'm
games,
stoked.
everything. There's like huge stuff all around. Good show tomorrow.
You guys talking about the crossover event?
No, probably not because I haven't
No?
finished it yet.
Okay.
Oh, Dean, you son of a bitch.
Oh, we can talk a little bit about it. I haven't finished it yet. I don't want to spoil it for myself.
It's so
Right.
good.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was just curious.
Greg would have if you didn't.
Also, of course, a big thank you to Baz023S. He produces the show. He makes it possible. We appreciate you, man. You're awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man. Go and check out our Death Stranding reaction. YouTube.com.
I'm putting it on the list. Stop it. All right, guys. We'll catch you throughout the week with gaming talk shows and game streams. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care. And as always, don't forget to
Love
Level
it.
Lupe.
Level.
Nailed it.